from Riverfront Stadium. It's the San Diego Padres versus the Cincinnati Reds. Tonight's game is brought to you by Busch Beer, the beer with a taste as smooth as its name. And by Toyota, who offers a full line of 1987 cars and trucks. Who could ask for anything more? And by Long John Silver Seafood Shops. Long John Silver sounds good to me. And by Delta Airlines, serving more than 150 cities worldwide. Delta gets you there with care. A beautiful night for baseball in Cincinnati, Ohio. In fact, the first night game of the 1987 baseball season for Pete Rose's undefeated.
Davis and Dave Parker around the infield, Buddy Bell, and then Barry Larkin, Ron Oster, Terry Francona's at first base, catcher Bo Diaz, and the pitcher Ted Power. The lineups for tonight's ball game.
Leading off for the San Diego Padres, it's Stan Jefferson playing in center field. Tony Gwynn will play right field. Well, he's the leading hitter in the league, came in second last year. Kevin Mitchell plays third base, acquired from the Mets. Carlos Martinez will move to first base tonight, take over for Steve Garvey. He usually plays left field, good power. John Kruk will be in left field tonight, and Carlos Martinez probably a better first baseman. He doesn't want to weaken two positions. Benito Santiago will do the catching. Boy, he's a good one. Gary Templeton, well, what can you say, an all-star at shortstop. Joey Cora will be the second baseman, another youngster, only a Double-A player last year. And the pitcher from the Baltimore Orioles organization traded over to San Diego, Storm Davis.
And we're underway. A 1-ball, 1-strike count on rookie center fielder Stan Jefferson. He has been suffering from the same offensive plague that most of his teammates have suffered with. Only one hit and 8 times up, and he's knocked in a run. Power with a count of 1-ball, 1-strike on the former New York Met. And a good start for the San Diego Padres as Jefferson gets a chance to exhibit his good speed. He stutter steps around second, and he will be in with a leadoff triple to right field.
Well, interesting enough, they think that Stan may be in a little over his head, but when you get a fastball up in the strike zone, well, that's what you can do with it. Although he broke his bat and had a little problem rounding second. Parker, of course, couldn't get back to the ball. The ball did not come off the wall because it didn't have enough speed to bounce off. So he had to go all the way to the wall to pick it up, and Oster's throw, as you can see, is late.
So a good beginning for the San Diego Padres. A 3-base hit by Stan Jefferson, and here's a wily old veteran, right fielder Tony Gwynn. Buddy Bell shallow at third. Gwynn 3 years ago, batted .351 to lead the National League. And if Tony Gwynn doesn't hit .300 over the course of any baseball season, the sun's not going to come up tomorrow. He batted .329 last year and just a pure hitter. And the Padres are 2 for 2, and run production-wise, they take a 1-0 lead. So Ted Power has thrown 5 pitches and has given up a 3-base hit and a run-scoring single as San Diego jumps out in front very, very quickly.
Neither ball hit particularly well, but in the right place. You can see there 10-6 on the year last year with a 3.7 ERA, and boy, he was glad to see the starting rotation. He was glad to take the mound at inning 1. He had problems in the bullpen. 129 innings, 115 hits. That's a good ratio. 52 strikeouts. The base on ball's way too high.
1 run in, 1 man on, nobody out. Here's former New York Met third baseman Kevin Mitchell. And the runner will move up. That looked like a pass ball on Bo Diaz. In fact, it appeared the ball hit dead in the center of his catcher's mitt. Simply popped out and allows Gwynn to move up to second, and a pass ball has been charged.
Yeah, without a doubt, I think this is a pass ball, as you can see right here. Either the movement on the ball was something he wasn't looking for. You can see it cut back in. That ball ran back towards the corner of the plate, and Bo, not used to seeing that pitch move like that, and it hit off the heel of the glove.
So Gwynn leading at second base. That pitch was a strike, and that's another strike on the outside corner as Mitchell falls very quickly behind 0-2.
Now you saw that fastball there, Marty, just cut right on the outside corner. But before, with the other pitch, it ran back. And so he's trying to do certain things with the baseball, and it's normally not what he does, according to the way Boker handled it.
2 strikes on Kevin Mitchell. Tony Gwynn with good speed out at second base and leading as Power checks him. And tried to spot it over again on the outside corner, but that time he didn't get the corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, the job that Kevin Mitchell has to do is try to get the ball into right field. And when you pitch away and a guy is not used to going the other way just on that pitch, he's looking for a pitch inside to take that way. He has trouble pulling the trigger.
Parker will make the play, but it's deep enough to allow Gwynn to tag at second.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
Parker with a good arm, but Tony Gwynn easily into third base standing up as the throw went to the outfield side of the bag, so short of a hit. Kevin Mitchell gets the job done with 1 out in the inning and a potential second run in this first down at third base for the San Diego Padres.
Is it my earpiece, or is it that we got a strong microphone down there? It sounds like they're breaking every bat.
It sounds like it. Carmelo Martinez taking over at first base tonight for Steve Garvey, who Larry Boa has benched after only 3 games into the season. And Garvey was not hitting. He had gone over his first 10, and Boa felt like something had to be done. So Garvey, the man who sits tonight, as you look at the San Diego bench, that's Boa with a jacket on. He read his ball club the Riot Act a couple of days ago. 1-0 pitch taken high, ball 2.
Got to get the ball down in this situation. The infield playing back, except for Bell at third, of course. And now we're there. We see right there, as a matter of fact.
Remember that tremendous streak he had a couple of years ago that ended when he suffered a broken thumb on a home plate collision in San Diego. Another extra base wrap for the San Diego Padres. Martinez has doubled Gwynn home, and Ted Power getting off to an abysmal first inning start as San Diego takes a 2-0 lead.
Sometimes when you play a ball team like they have played San Francisco, and you see a lot of split-fingered fastball, you see a lot of different pitching, and you come in, and of course when you make mistake pitches like that right out over the plate, you're going to have problems. But sometimes when you face a pitcher, altogether the lights start lighting up because some other team may make perfect pitches on you, maybe throwing you a different selection of pitches. Then all of a sudden they get to see a pitcher, and it's more or less to their liking.
That's the 4th RBI of the young season for Martinez. He leads the Padres, and here's the West Virginia native John Kruk. And Bo Diaz with a good dig out as Power falls behind 1-0.
Got to be careful here not to overthrow, and that was just an example of it. You could see his back leg lost his balance, and of course carried the ball on over the top, and we're going to get some work down the bullpen, I think.
Kruk last year batted .309 for San Diego. He and Cal Daniels were the only rookies in the National League who had 100 or more plate appearances to hit over 300 for the year. That's Guy Hoffman. The left-hander will start to loosen up. And another hard smash, this one into right field, and they're going to hold the runner up. Parker's throw cut off by Francona, and the hit parade continues for the men of Larry Boa. Their 4th hit in the inning. Only 1 out, and Pete Rose deems it time to go to the mound for a visit.
He hasn't tricked them so far. And of course they've changed the lineup. Sometimes that's what a ball club needs, is the little change. Gwynn was batting third. He wasn't happy with that. They moved him down in the second position. And the only person so far that hasn't produced, and you can't really say that because Mitchell got Gwynn over to third base.
It was a triple by Stan Jefferson to begin the inning, an RBI single by Tony Gwynn, who moved up on a pass ball and then advanced to third on Mitchell's fly ball to right. Martinez doubled to the wall and left 2-0, or getting the runner to third rather, and then Kruk had the base hit to right to put runners at first and third with still only 1 out. And one of the youngsters in the San Diego lineup steps in now, and catcher Benito Santiago.
He's a good one.
Reds infield will play for the double play as Power misses away a ball.
We're playing our first night game too, Marty. Bo may be having a little problem with that, but the ball must be moving kind of strange because that's the second one that he has not caught or handled. The other one, the pass ball, and that ball he did not handle well.
Ronnie Oster with a routine play, and that's the second out of the inning. Nobody can advance on the play, so Power comes up with a big second out. And now the seventh man to hit in what has so far been a two-run inning. That'll be the veteran shortstop Gary Templeton.
Pete must have known what to say. Quit making those bad pitches, because that one got him right in on the field.
It can be simple, can't it?
Yes, it can. Let's don't make it too complicated,
no,
guys. See ball, hit ball.
I'm sure people think that all kinds of strategic and deeply involved baseball comments go on when meetings take place, and sometimes you can just put it out there in the simplest form possible.
Well, Scotty Breeden may have noticed something in the dugout as well and said something to Pete. He may have gone out there and say, you're not doing this or you're not doing that, or you say, let's go, dig down, let's go after him right here, or I'm coming to get you again.
Templeton with 1 for 12 to begin the season. 1 ball, 1 strike. Johnny was talking about Reds pitching coach Scott Breeden. There he is as he watches what Power does on the mound and also keeps an eye out down in that bullpen for left-hander Guy Hoffman, who continues to throw. Great play by Francona. He just took extra bases away from Gary Templeton and saved some runs as the first inning comes to an end. Good start for the Pods. 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 left. After a half inning in the series opener of 3 at Riverfront, the
Padres lead the Reds. Got 4 big hits in the first inning, and the Reds come to bat in the bottom of the inning. The defense for the San Diego Padres will be John Krug, Stan Jefferson, and Tony Gwynn in the outfield. Kevin Mitchell, Gary Templeton, Joey Coors at second. Carmelo Martinez is the first baseman. Benito Santiago is the catcher, and George Storm Davis is the pitcher.
That's very nice of you to give him his proper name, as Cal Daniels leads off the first inning, and the Reds down by 2. Junior. A native Texan. He was raised in Jacksonville, Florida, and of course came over in the offseason in that trade with the Baltimore Orioles. His first National League start tonight, and he's all even on Daniels at 1-1. Interesting the comments that his manager Larry Boa had after a less than successful spring training outing that was anything but complimentary to Storm Davis. 2-1. He said he's been a probably the biggest disappointment of the spring. If he pitches like that in the National League, he's going to get killed. It's just a time bomb waiting to go off.
I saw that about 3 or 4 different times, too.
Well, he pitched well his last time out this spring, last weekend at Denver against the Chicago Cubs. 6 innings, he gave up only a couple of hits, and they hope he can carry that into the season, as he right now stands a pitch away from walking Daniels. 3-1.
6'4", 200, and he's throwing a pretty good fastball right now.
Stanley Jefferson looking up. Oh, the very top of the wall, and Daniels goes to second with a leadoff double. You can't come any closer than that without hitting it out of here.
This young man strong or what? Well, 3-1. That's where he wanted. Boy, he threw it right down the middle, and he cranked on it, and he hit it about as far as you can hit it in this ballpark. As Marty said, Stan Jefferson really going to see if it will come off the fence. And there you see it, folks, right there. I mean, you hit in the middle of that middle, and he has played it perfect. Look at this. But Daniels with the speed, no problem getting the 2-base hit. Now let's see what Larkin can do.
I'll tell you, he's going to hit a lot more home runs than a lot of people expect over the course of this season. He has fine power. Larkin shows a bunt, and Davis high for a ball.
I predicted he would hit 45.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I may be a little high.
Yeah, that might be an inflated figure.
I didn't mean that.
I'll tell you one thing. The one thing you can be assured of, he ain't going to hit more than that. 1-0 the count on Barry Larkin. Tony Gwynn, and no play, and he banged into that wall pretty well as he stayed with that ball all the way, but he's okay.
Shaking his hand a little bit. He's got a wrist. When you go up there, you pry that wrist up there to stop it, and of course metal seems to stand up better than flesh. There you come down here. He lost his hat. Doesn't have to worry about it. He's feeling his way, as you can see. And slow motion, it didn't look like he got there that hard, but Tony Gwynn's a gamer, and you see him shaking his wrist. He went after it pretty good.
Outstanding ball player, that man. 1-1 on Larkin. He's had 2 hits and 8 times up, including a home run on opening day here against Montreal. 2 balls and a strike, and Johnny, Storm Davis pitching up here to the first 2 batters.
What did Larry say?
Like a time bomb waiting to go off.
Light the fuse, guys.
Yes, sir.
Well, he squared the bunt, then he swung away. He squared the bunt. Now let's see at 2-1 what he can do.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
I think going the other way is great. You know, you get a pitch right down the middle like that, you just got to hit the ball as sharp as you can towards the middle or out right center if you can. I tell you, sometimes you can't give yourself away so early. 2-0. He's trying to get power some runs, and that's the big thing. Try to keep him fresh in the ballgame. Of course, you see Dave Parker right there hoping he can get him to third. Nothing like easy pickings from third.
Nope. Davis shaking off Santiago a couple of times. And again way upstairs. Full count.
That's a good live fastball though, Marty. He's got some heat on that. And of course, it doesn't really matter upstairs. Nolan Ryan continues to throw upstairs.
Well, I mean,
Dwight Gooden threw upstairs.
You're talking about unique gas when you're talking about Nolan Ryan and Dwight Gooden. And Larkin hangs in with a holding 3-2 count. I'll tell you, we're going to see some new pitchers in this league who are hard throwers. And as Johnny said, Storm Davis is one of them. Another, Matt Young, who we saw in spring training, that resides in the Dodger bullpen and has not had a whole lot of success in his debut week in the National League.
You know, Lasorda said, if we can get the bullpen, we've got the starting pitching. And then after the first 3 games, he said, what did I tell you?
That's right. 3-2 pitch. Coming over, Kevin Mitchell. Joining him is Santiago. And another souvenir and a very excited young man. Is he fired up or not?
Got to be a catcher. He had to be a catcher at one time.
With the hands like that?
Oh, yeah.
Can there be any doubt?
And the reason he stayed under it. I mean, you know, just go ahead and after it. He's got the foul balls. That's too many foul tips right there. You want to stay under it like that.
Well, he immediately went to that Budweiser, boy. Didn't let that hang around too long.
No, he set it down. That's why it was such a good play. He set it down and then planted himself.
Absolutely.
Get your mask out of the way or your beer cup out of the way so you don't trip over it and spill it all over 18 people in the row.
3-2 and holding. Larkin hanging in there, and that's the problem. And that will be played by Carmelo Martinez. And that's the first out of the inning.
Well, let's see what the lineups are.
Leading off for the Cincinnati Reds, Cal Daniels in left field. Very solid up to this point. Batting second will be Barry Larkin. Larkin, shortstop, hit a home run Monday night. Batting third, Dave Parker. He got a big home run Wednesday. Batting fourth will be Eric Davis, hitting .667 already and stealing 3 bases. Batting fifth will be Buddy Bell, a big 3 RBI day for Buddy on Wednesday. Batting sixth, Bo Diaz. He has 4 RBIs and calling good ball games. Batting seventh will be Terry Francona, playing first base. He also has 4 RBIs. Batting eighth will be Ron Oster, only hitting .167, but turned some fine double plays. And the pitcher tonight, Ted Power, 10-6 on the year last year. He makes his first start of the season.
You like the way I gave him some extra RBIs on Francona?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, sooner or later he's going to get there.
Had the lead, yeah.
Dave Parker, a ball and no strikes. Johnny mentioned the home run he hit here on Wednesday afternoon off of Montreal right-hander Jay Tibbs that allowed the Reds to tie it up. Hit ball well, looking upwind, tie ball.
Oh, look at the fireworks. Ah, yes, sir. You know who supplied that? Kroger, Texas Gold, right there. Brought to you by. I had a friend of mine who lives over in Lytle Tower, just moved down here from Chicago, and said, what are all the fireworks for? Does something happen at the park when those things go off?
Dave Parker, this bud's for you with that game-tying home run.
You know, if you pitch upstairs, Marty, you're not going to be long for this, Earl. And, of course, Dave Parker put on a show in batting practice. They did a lot of the Reds. And Larry Bowa said, don't be showboating when you run down there. Don't show me that trot. Said Jeffrey Leonard holds his hand like he's got the gun in the holster.
That's right. Here's Eric Davis, and it doesn't take the Reds very long to tie it up. A 2-base hit by Daniels that missed by an inch or 2 of going out, and Parker with a line drive home run over the right field wall. Very impressive early numbers for Eric Davis, and it's 2-0, and Storm Davis continues to pitch upstairs.
How about our umpires?
Jim Quick behind the plate. At first, Charlie Williams, as you look at Parker. At second, John Kibler. And at third, the effervescent Bruce Spanky Fremming. 2 away in the inning.
Effervescent?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's proper.
Oh, I think it's a very apt description. Looks like his hands are perpetually stapled to his coat pockets. He rarely strikes a pose other than that, except for when he is throwing somebody out of a ball game, which happens fairly frequently over the course of a season. Here's Buddy Bell. He and Bo Diaz were the Wednesday afternoon heroes, each of them driving in 3 runs. Bell had that big bases loaded double for Randy St. Clair. That's all for Cincinnati, but like the San Diego Padres, the Reds get 2 runs. They do it on 2 base hits. And after 1 inning of play here at Riverfront, it's the Reds 2 and the Padres 2. He clubbed a 2-run home run to tie things up in the first inning and now goes to defense as Ted Power, hoping for better things, works on second baseman Joey Cora. Boy, this kid had a rough time of it last year, Johnny. Missed 41 games after being stabbed in San Antonio, Texas. He played at Beaumont and had a good year, batted .305. Was a non-roster player when spring training started, but the Padre philosophy is to go with a younger talent. Larry Bowa said, what the heck? This kid has ability. Why not bring him up to the big league ball club and see what he can do?
The thought is right now that he is in over his head, and they may need another year of AAA. But, you know, they, like you say, it's a young ball club, and Larry's going to be very patient. And you brought that up at the beginning of it. I'm not sure that time will tell.
Well, you bring up a good point, because I wonder how much patience he has. I talked with Pete, and we reflected back to a couple of years ago when he had a lot of young players on this club and showed unbelievable patience. I don't know if Larry Bowa has that kind of patience.
Well, I'm not sure. He was in AAA last year, and he had a little fire last year, especially with some of the umpires. Got suspended.
Oster, and it's from one second baseman to another. As second baseman Cora grounds out to second baseman Oster, and that'll bring up the pitcher Storm Davis.
Larry played with all you could have as far as intensity. He was the full up. His gauge was always on full. He was never running low. That little yellow caution light never came on and said fuel needed.
No, it did not. Now Storm Davis swings the bat like a pitcher who has been around the National League for a while. Broke his bat. Joined the club, pal. There are 2 outs in the inning.
Well, he was quite an athlete in Jacksonville. He played, in fact, he played on the team with Glenn Davis, although they're not related. The first baseman for the Houston Astros, they played with, his father was the coach of the team, and 6'4", 200 pounds. I'm sure he threw some numbers up in high school.
409 strikeouts. I mean, that's
275 innings.
That'll wake you up. You're a scout. Here's Stan Jefferson. He's the guy who started it all off. 496.
In 278 innings in high school. No wonder they drafted him. 42-3. What? I was 75-3. Never mind.
Jefferson a triple. A run scored in the first inning. Is Ted Power throwing better here in the second?
Well, after Pete's little visit, either mechanic-wise or whatever, he started coming off of there a little bit more. You know, his biggest problem last year was rushing. He really has to take time right here and get the ball out and not do that. Now, see, he's coming out there. He's got to finish on through just a little bit. He's still trying to fight it a little bit. Threw well the last 3 or 4 batters, and now finally has gotten himself back underneath. He's an intense player. You know, from Guthrie, Oklahoma, the boy wants to pitch.
He's behind and working to Jefferson, and there's a strike. Jimmy Morrison is homered for Pittsburgh, and that stakes the Pirates to an early 1-0 lead over the Cardinals. That game in the 4th inning at 3 Rivers. Atlanta with 2 wins to start the year at the expense of the Phillies. Nothing in the first inning at New York. No play for Diaz as the count draws even on Jefferson, 2-2. Elsewhere tonight, the Cubs at Philadelphia. Montreal plays at Houston. And the Giants against the winless Dodgers. We are less than a week into the season, and right there you have a matchup of 2 clubs going in opposite directions. San Francisco 4-0, and the Dodgers 0-4. They are 1 loss away from equaling the worst start since that club left Brooklyn and went to L.A. Jefferson 2 for 2.
Count a little bit deep. for Jefferson. I don't know that he has that kind of pop that he has afforded that much. I'm sure that they always go over defensively what they want to do. But here's a young man that only had 2 home runs in Tidewater. He got 1 in New York. And the year before hit only 8, 5, and 9. So a little bit deep for Stanley as that respect. Of course, that ball probably would have fell in anyway because it was just out of the reach of Larkin.
Hit number 5 for San Diego as the inning continues for Tony Gwynn, who singled a run home in the first inning. His first RBI of the season. How do you pitch a guy like Tony Gwynn? Does he have a weakness?
Not very many, and you've got to move the ball around on him. You cannot get a pattern and say, okay, let him know that behind you'll pitch away. If you get ahead, you'll pitch in. You've got to move the ball down and away and try to hit the ball on the ground. Now, see, he tried to spot that ball. That was just sort of a dart pitch that he just tried to hit out there on the outside corner, and it was not released as far as just turning it loose. We see the defense is set up very straight away. They're giving him the lines. So they know that he's not going to just stroke. He's the stroke hitter that's going to play the alleys.
Taking, and the pitch is in for a call strike. 2-1. Now we welcome all the college students on hand here tonight. College night at Riverfront. First night game of the year. These two clubs will play day games tomorrow and Sunday, and then the Reds hit the road with 3 games in Atlanta before coming back home next weekend for an early season showdown with the Houston Astros.
He'd be running.
Looks like it. He is, and he's got to come back.
What fraternity were you in?
I was a KA. Remember the Kappa Alpha order that was founded by General Robert E. Lee?
How'd you get in that?
Well, nobody blackballed me, so I passed muster, I guess you could say.
Yes. What is the legend? Or were you a legend, or is that what they call it? When you your father was
Legacy.
Legacy. I can see I never went to college. I only saw Animal House.
It began and ended with me.
Oh. Tommy was not a KA?
Tom was the president of his chapter of Beta fraternity up at Ohio University.
Right there, isn't it?
Yes,
Proud
sir.
My son was the president.
Yes, I thought I'd drop that in. Should be the last out of the inning.
If he can find it. There's Twilight. Don't get caught up in it.
Daniels makes the play. So a much easier second for Ted Power, we're happy to report. Tony Gwynn with a fly out, no runs, 1 base hit. Jefferson left on, and that's your score. In the middle of the second, the Reds 2 and the Padres likewise. Broadcasting authorized under television rights granted by the Cincinnati Reds solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds is prohibited. Bo Diaz 4 for 8 with 4 RBIs. 1 on Monday. He had 3 in the 7-2 win on Wednesday. A ball, a strike.
Some big numbers over in the American League, Marty. Detroit beat Chicago 11-4. Baltimore is ahead of Cleveland 11-10 in the 8th. Boston shut out Toronto 3-0 behind Bruce Hurst.
He picks right back up where he left off.
And tomorrow, Roger Clemens.
You have to wonder about the importance of the length of spring training. When a guy can get ready as quickly as Roger Clemens got ready, essentially throwing to his battery mate Rich Gedman down in Texas and throwing a little BP to his former high school team.
Rich Gedman said that sometimes they were spending more time out there. In fact, they were spending more time out there working than they would normally in spring training.
3-2.
Roger Clemens, basically, if you just throw to the catcher and, play catch, you want to be sharp against certain hitters as far as location. But I'm sure the young man, who's very intense about what he does, worked through game situations in his own mind.
Diaz broke his bat, and Templeton gets him on the throw to Martinez. Well, he's going to be breaking in tomorrow as far as 87 is concerned against a pretty good hitting ball club in Toronto. And I guess Roger gave himself an out of sorts when he returned to the Red Sox camp. He said, look, I may get hit around the first couple of times out, but everything's going to be okay.
He's not worried about it. He's in great shape, and right now he's only throwing between 88 and 90, so that'll pick up. Yes.
Yeah, that's too bad. Terry Francona looks at a strike. He immediately endeared himself to the Riverfront Stadium fans with that 2-run home run in the 9-run 4th inning on Monday. Storm Davis now throwing strikes as he jumps quickly out ahead 0-2. Reds scored twice to tie it up in the first. A leadoff double by Daniels. A line drive home run over the right field wall. The second of the year for Dave Parker. Out of play.
Nice night for baseball.
Oh, boy, it's a great night.
Although they say the weather will be coming in later. And you see a nice crowd on hand. You mentioned the college students out to see it. And I was kind of disappointed the other day about the afternoon special, the businessman special. Only 12, 13,000 people. Tell you what, you couldn't beat the other day unless they'd all just decided.
There's that great big hunk of cheese. He buzzes him inside with a good fastball. And Davis, as Johnny mentioned in the first inning, he's getting it up there pretty good.
Yeah, I'd like to see the gun on him. I don't know that they even have one down below. But in the American League, he brushed back people quite a bit. Of course, he could afford to with the DH.
2-2 now.
You can see there that the game plan is to pitch Francona in. They've consistently gone in there, and they threw the ball away, and just protecting the plate is the one he flipped down the left field line.
Francona flies his trade against George Storm Davis. Ronnie Oster waiting to bat next as the Reds and the Padres play in the second of a 2-2 ball game. Speaking of players, how about the announcement today concerning Bob Horner has agreed to a 1-year contract.
Wait a minute, I haven't heard this. Don't tell me Japan.
Yakult Swallows of the Japanese Central League.
He's not going to last there.
Well, only 1 year. He's giving himself a little bit of an out, but I guess he felt at this stage his chances of signing with somebody in the big leagues were next to nil.
Well, the Braves must have told him they're not even interested, or they're going to say we're not giving you even what you made last year.
Apparently not. The battle continues between Storm Davis and Terry Francona.
I love Japan. We went over there on the trip. There you see some scores on the scoreboard. Marty and the Cleveland Indians now are tied in the 9th inning.
Not a good day for pitchers up in Cleveland.
Can't wait to get the new scoreboard in.
Late May. Should be
Which year?
Quite an addition.
What year?
I'm predicting May this year.
Bye-bye.
There's a drive, and that might have enough on it. Gwynn to the wall. He leaps and he makes a play. Now Terry Francona gave it a pretty good ride, but Tony Gwynn does what a good outfielder is supposed to do, and that's go to the wall. He timed his jump perfectly, as you'll see here.
He had a little bit of room, then he kind of stretched it out. It may have been one of those yellow liners like Cal Daniels hit. Let's look at it from another angle as we close down on it. Of course, he can do it all.
Oster trying to butt his way on, foul ball.
Not a bad move. Gets the pitcher up.
Oh, Tony Gwynn, who already has a hit and an RBI tonight, turns in a good defensive play. And he can indeed do a little bit of everything and do it well. That ball's hit well. Stanley Jefferson, warning track, bob the wall, and Oster will get 3 out of it. His second triple of the season. And boy, I want to tell you, the Reds are hitting some rockets off of Storm Davis.
Well, Larry Bowa, quite a philosophy. And of course, that's everybody's problem. If you pitch a ball upstairs, and there you see it right out there, that's belt high, and that's upstairs as far as pitching is concerned. You see Jefferson going back, trying to make the catch, and it looked like the ball, he had it on the wrong side, got caught in between. And of course, the two outfielders have to converge on it. Kruk and Gwynn both over. That's what Larry Bowa likes to see, too. Good fundamental backup.
Ronnie Oster, now the early leader in 3 base hits in the National League, is second.
Ted kind of proud that he got a bat with his name on it.
There's Larry Bowa, and boy, is he chewing on the ear of anybody who will listen to him. That's Galen Cisco, the pitching coach, standing in front of the bat rack.
Who was that beside him? Bruce Bochy?
Ball on the strike, yes. Backup catcher to Benito Santiago.
Little 253. If you have a son in the 6th grade, that's what he's swinging.
Had a pretty good hack at that pitch.
Well, he probably had one of the worst swings you'd ever see when he first came here to the staff. He has really worked on his hitting, worked on his diet. He is now svelte, you might say. I think he's, what, lost 15, 18 pounds?
He worked really hard over the winter months. I mean, this guy is very, very intense himself when it comes to his job, and he views this chance to be a starter in the Reds rotation as one of the big opportunities in his career. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Oster at third, representing the go-ahead run in inning number 2. Well, I don't think Storm Davis relishes the thought of having to face Cal Daniels.
Let's get a shot of Larry Boa if we can right now. He just got up and made a little left turn walking down that. He does not want to see Ted Power get walked.
And he walked him. And Boa is pacing again, and look at the expression on his face.
Marty, I don't think that's good. You know, you got that's still, you gotta, it's not his makeup, but at the same time, it is first start of the year, and it is very tough to have command of your pitches. A young ball club, 10 new people on this ball club. You've just got to be patient with it.
Okay, the Reds get a break. Power walks first and third, and Daniels takes it inside a ball.
But while we're at it, thank you very much, Mr. Davis.
Absolutely. Larry now talking to Sandy Alomar, one of his coaches in the dugout, as they bring Kevin Mitchell in a few steps at third base. 2-0. All of a sudden, Davis's control taking a hike on him.
Had a little problem with control in the American League. Looked like last year they wanted him to work on that control. He eliminated a lot of base on balls, but his hit ratio per inning went up.
Now Carmelo Martinez leaves the bag per instruction from the San Diego manager to play behind Power.
What's he doing there anyway?
I wonder.
Martinez keeps going into the bag at first base behind Power. Well, I don't think Pete Rose is going to take any chance. If Mr. Power were to take off.
You turn him loose here, Johnny?
Yes, indeed.
Bases are loaded.
But he wasn't. And here comes Mr. Boa out to have a little talk. And we might want to get a little closer look at this.
The worst
not
thing,
real close.
No, I was getting ready to say
folks,
the worst decision that a television producer could ever make relative to Larry Boa would be to wire him for sound. Because the microphone by the second would just have melted down the front of his chest.
And that's probably that's close enough, I think, right now. Mr. Davis getting all he wants.
Yes, he is. And simultaneous with that little discussion, as the disgruntled Padre manager heads back to the dugout, they got some activity underway. In the San Diego bullpen, a right-hander starts to throw now with the bases loaded, 2 men out. Ed Wojna.
I wondered how you pronounce that. I always call it Wojna.
Wojna. Barry Larkin popped up foul to Martinez in the first inning, and he goes to wailing.
Yeah, but he's had him in on his hands. The first time up, he got him in on his hands. He got him popped up. He kept going to right field trying to, but he was a little late. He's got to turn the volume up on that knob down there just a little bit.
Ball a strike. Take a look at the runners, and they are everywhere. Oster at third. Power at second. Daniels had the second of the back-to-back 2-out walks. He's at first, and they are loaded. 1-1 to Larkin. Base hit left field. Only one will score as the Reds take a 3-2 lead. Third RBI for Barry Larkin.
You keep getting the fastball up, and that's what happened. He did not get that ball in. Ball right out over the plate. Big hand for Dave Parker, of course, as you hear in the background. There's Oster scoring, and John Kruk into charge, and Power with not bad speed, but at the same time the ball hit too hard for him to score.
Storm Davis knows what Parker did in the first inning. He buzzes him on the inside and got the corner for a called strike.
I don't think that pleased David.
All of this started after the first two batters had been retired, but Francona's deep drive to the wall and right very obviously was an indicator. Oster then triple, Power walk, Daniels walk, Larkin singles to break the tie, and all of a sudden the control comes back to Storm Davis. 0-2.
Two real good pitches, and he's going to have to bust himself right here. He's really going to have to dig down. He knows he is one hitter away from being out of this ball game. And Larry Bowa is telling everybody in that dugout, and probably that's why you'll see most people sitting down towards the end.
He comes up with a mighty big out. In the inning, the Reds take the lead. They get one run on a couple of base hits. They leave the bases loaded, and we journey out into the third here at Riverfront Stadium with the Reds leading by 1. Pod's got 2 quick runs in the first inning off Ted Power, but he came back to get him out in the second, and now faces Kevin Mitchell, who flied to right in the first inning. Francona on the run.
Hey, ladies, don't let a little rain get in your way this summer. Use your fashionable Reds umbrella all season long. Get your free umbrella at the Reds Umbrella Day coming up this Sunday, April the 12th, thanks to Klosterman Bakery. The first 12,000 women in attendance, 18 and over, will receive a free red and white umbrella courtesy of Klosterman Bakery. It's the Reds against the Padres at 2:15 and Umbrella Day on Sunday, April 12th. And it might come in handy.
It certainly might. I would hope not, but, well, we'll see.
Tomorrow.
1-for-1, Carmelo Martinez, RBI double in the first inning. Former Chicago Cub. He was a first baseman coming up in the Cubs organization. Went to San Diego. They had a guy there by the name of Garvey. Put Martinez in left field, and he relishes every opportunity he has at playing first base, which is where he's playing tonight.
Just saw a pretty good fastball there. He let it go. Stay back, deliver. Little aim. Tried to hit that outside corner, paint it. Not like the fastball before when he just turned it loose, but a good location for it.
First strikeout for Ted Power, and 2 quickly down here in the top of the third.
Let's see how he releases this one. See the follow through. Look at that arm. Look at the follow through. Brings that leg right on around. That's the pitch he swung right through for strike 2. Then he tried to aim it, and then he came right back. Good pitching.
Trying for his first perfect inning of the night. He's going to work on left fielder John Kruk. Here's ball 1.
This kid likes to play.
Boy, I'll tell you, he is really refreshing to be around. He's a kid who is very unassuming. He just wants to play baseball, and he makes a very strong argument because he can flat swing the bat.
Ooh.
2-1 now. He has hit 300 or better at every level that he's played at.
He's from out in Kaiser, West Virginia. Single who resides there.
Yes, sir.
Got a lot of friends probably come up here and watch the ball game. We got a lot of fan support. Kaiser went to Allegheny Community College. I think that's in Pittsburgh.
Right outside.
In fact, there's a coach there. Former Major League player.
John Stuper.
You got it. Former Red.
And Kruk is 2 for 2. Two-out single to left field. The inning continues. This third for San Diego. Benito Santiago. 0 for 1. He popped to Oster. in a run-producing situation in the first inning. After they had scored twice, he came up with 1 out. Runners at first and third, and hit a weak pop-up to Oster behind second base. Kid has got some pop. He had 17 home runs at San Diego, or at Las Vegas, I should say, last season, their AAA farm club. Larry Boa feels that with continued maturity, this kid is going to develop into a pretty good power hitter, and he certainly has a body for it.
Really does. Long and lean. He kind of surprises you. He's got a little bit more to him than looks. Those stripes, pinstripes, of course, you always wear when you want to look thin. I know Joe wears plaids.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's a ball just outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Speaking of Joe, he'll be coming over to join Johnny in the TV booth when we go to the 4th inning. Speaking of the old left-hander, that was an attractive shot. 1 ball, 1 strike. Buddy Bell takes a quick route to second, and that's all for San Diego. The 3rd inning numbers: no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. We've progressed through 2.5, and the Reds are leading them 3-2. And the latter, Davis, has been in trouble in both innings. 2 in the first he allowed the Reds, 1 in the second. Eric in the first inning grounded out third to first. Joey Kors signaling for the center fielder Jefferson. He came a long way for that ball.
He misjudged 2 fly balls in San Francisco. Had a little problem out there. It was, of course, in San Francisco. Doesn't matter if you're a rookie.
You're right.
You can have a lot of problems. I missed 2 pop-ups in my career. One I just Cadillac'd here and dropped, and the other one I missed in San Francisco. He kind of got in between the running pace, and the whole idea is to run on your toes. If you let those heels go, then your eye vision starts to flutter.
Strike is called to Buddy Bell.
Curveball. We didn't see that one yet.
Yeah. Cubs lead the Phillies 2-0 after an inning at the vet. Atlanta 2, Mets 0 after 1.5 at Shea. Did Bell go or not? He did, says first base umpire Charlie Williams. 0-2. Storm Davis trying to get his act together. Bell only 4 for 23 now, lifetime, against Storm Davis. That's counting his first inning ground out. Davis had faced only 2 Reds in his American League days. That was Bell, who now is 4 for 23, and Sal Butera. When he was over in the American League with the Minnesota Twins, he was 0 for 3. And Buddy now 4 for 24 against Storm Davis.
167, and both pitchers now starting to settle down a little bit. We saw the curveball from Storm Davis, and going back into the dugout, maybe Galen Cisco said you cannot just throw one speed hard against this ball club. You're going to have to mix in an occasional changeup, which he has thrown, but the curveball they need to look at once in a while.
Ball 1 to Bo Diaz, led off the second, bounced out to the shortstop Gary Templeton. Reds have been out hit here in the early innings, 6-4, but lead 3-2. Two and 0 the count.
Yeah, there was a changeup. He tried to overthrow. He got up with the fastball the first pitch, tried to overthrow the changeup, and he bounced it.
Good rip by Diaz.
Our crack meteorologist, Mr. Barry.
Pat by first name.
Pat, well, depends on how you know him. He called and said the rain would not get here till probably after midnight. So bring those umbrellas out right now.
You brought him to the ballpark. Get him up. It's imminent.
That's what he gets for not coming here tonight. He was going to come tonight, and he's home watching this. Probably eating some of his little thin food.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Now Jim Sundberg has hit his first National League home run. Former Kansas City Royal, now catching on a daily basis due to the injury suffered on opening day by Jody Davis. Cubs 3, Phillies 0. And Diaz went. Ball retrieved. And the throw completes the strikeout. The Reds are out in order for the first time tonight. We have completed 1/3, and it's Cincinnati 3 and San Diego 2.
Of 5. Need to cut back on that. Got the first 2 men out to start the 3rd inning, then gave up a hit to Kruk. He works to Gary Templeton. Gary 0 for 1. He lined to Terry Francona, and Terry made an excellent play to save 2 runs probably, and that would have been a 4-run inning and may have been all for Ted Power. And there's another line drive hit right on the nose, and there's Ron Oster standing there, and Templeton has hit 2 balls on the nose, has not even left the batter's box because they've gotten to the infield that quick.
That's what you call the atom ball.
Just stay with them.
Get them next time. And they listen to that about 5 times, and then they start responding in other ways.
Here's Joey Cora, the young second baseman, power working. Breaking ball he didn't like the feel of. And there are a difference in baseballs, aren't there, Joe?
There are differences. Usually the seams is the big thing.
He didn't get that breaking ball down the way he wanted to. It didn't go down. Now he's going to try to work with a fastball that catches the outside middle of the plate. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. 3 runs for the Reds on 4 hits. The San Diego Padres have 2 runs on 6 hits, and Power works again and did not finish that one. Got it upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Beautiful evening for baseball. Rain's going to hold off. Moon's up. Well, we see a few clouds around the moon now, and here comes Power back. This fastball right down on the knees, and well, not high enough for Jim Quick to call a strike, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 runs in the first for the Padres, 1 run in the second, and now they've got a base runner. So Joey Cora goes down to first base. He grounded to second baseman Oster.
Not a whole lot to pitch to on Joey Cora. That's what you call a hazy moon right there. There it is.
Hazy, lazy moon.
It looks like there's haze all around it, too.
Sure does. Well, it's moving in. Maybe that's just the front part of it. Here's Storm Davis. He'll be up there sacrificing. Power delivers, and it's a pitch out. Now, the San Francisco Giants were not successful in stealing bases against the San Diego Padres. I was told they pitched out 4 times and threw them out 4 times. And you see right there one of the old Red coaches, Harry Dunlap, Joe.
Well, he's probably telling the Storm, now listen, don't let these guys charge you like they try, and if they do, take a whack at it.
Well, he swung the bat the first time like he'd had some experience doing that. He's going to peel, but let's see if he swings. There he goes. Bunted right out in front of the plate. Power up with it. He will have no play at second base and easily gets Storm Davis at first as Ronnie Oster covers. Well, mark that down as sacrifice.
We retract what Dunlap told him. He just said, get the ball in play because we're going to have Cora running. And you can see him right there. He just wanted to get the ball in play. Now, if he isn't running, Ted would have had a heck of a shot at second base, but Cora running on the bunt.
Larry Boa moving people around, of course, trusting Cora's speed. And also, that's just exactly what he did, Joe. Harry came down and say, just get it down. And on AstroTurf, of course, Davis not used to bunting because he's been on the designated hitter league, having trouble bunting possibly on the AstroTurf and thinking he may have more of a problem.
You know, it was funny in batting practice. I was down there and Storm Davis taking batting practice. He broke a bat, and somebody said, "You want?" No, I said, "I got another one over here." And so he must have brought 2 bats, but his first time up took care of the other one. Now, I don't know if he had 3 or not, or he's using somebody else's.
Here's Stan Jefferson. He's 2 for 2. Power has had trouble getting him out. A triple the first inning, then a single in the second inning to left field. A triple going down the line and right. Looked like a broken bat that got down there and did not come off the wall. He did not hit it hard, but had no problem getting to third base. And now Power will be joined by Bo Diaz at the mound.
John, I want to say hello to a special guy before I forget it. My old basketball and baseball coach at Wilson Junior High. A lot of his former players are with him tonight. My brother and just a whole gang of guys joining him tonight. And we just want to say hello to Bud and He was the one who said, hey, this sudden death stuff, let's cut it out. Let's start calling it sudden victory. It made sense. It
Yes,
makes sense.
indeed.
Sounds a heck of a lot better than sudden death, I'll tell you. But it hasn't really taken off too much here, but it did in Canada.
Power working again, and a little lazy with that arm, and the breaking ball stays outside. Not trying to really get it over the pitch, hoping Jefferson will nibble and chase that pitch outside. Corey, you see, leading from second base. Power looks in as Bo Diaz flashes a series of signs, and now works back. Ball hit back towards shortstop, up the middle. Davis in to field it. He'll have a play at home plate. No, he will not. And there goes Jefferson down to second base, and it's a 3-hit night for Stanley Jefferson.
Well, I'd say the kid's rather impressive here tonight. Hit the ball very good in the first for the triple, and then his next time up, he got a broken bat. There's a pitch out away from him. He just went out and got the bat on it, and that good speed goes into second as the throw goes through to Bo. But is he that good a hitter? I don't know.
Well, he's hitting 125 coming into the game. A lot of young talent. They're going to have to be patient with it. Kind of not real happy the way he slid, or he kind of looked like he might have pulled something going down there, and the ball game is tied at 3. Here's Tony Gwynn, and he's got to get out over the plate, and this ball will hit in foul territory off the face of the stands. Carry him out towards Eric Davis. We'll have to pick it up. Gwynn 0 for 1. Made a long run. Ran up against the wall. May have hurt his wrist. He was flexing it quite a bit. He flied out to left field.
Now you talk about pure hitters, and I think you have to put Tony Gwynn in that category.
Yes, indeed.
I can hit.
1 for 2 on the evening. He flied out in the second, got a base hit with an RBI in the first. Advanced to second. His first time up on a pass ball, and then scored on a double by Carmelo Martinez. He looks for power delivery. The 1-1 pitch. Hit towards shortstop Larkin. He's going to have to hurry. Will he throw it away? No. Well, he started it up high, and Dave Concepcion advised Barry to maybe think about bouncing the ball over there. And Terry Francona looked like he was going to jump for the ball. Had a little arc on it.
Threw off to the right of the bag, and Terry making sure it didn't get through. And a good play by Barry, and he gets rid of it in a hurry. And let's see if it would have been a chance or not. No, I don't think so. But Terry going off to the right of the bag to the outfield side to protect the throw.
There's Davey saying now he's got to bounce the ball. That C is for captain, not coach. But he does some coaching, helping the young infielders, both Larkin and Stillwell. That's part of his responsibility that he has taken upon himself, and I think Pete's asked him as well. Here's Mitchell, 0 for 2. Ball hit right at shortstop. This time Larkin up with it, takes the easy route to Oster, and the San Diego Padres able to come up with a run. So they have tied the game at 3-3 as we go into the bottom of the 4th. Ready to come back. Ball down in the dirt, a breaking ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And Mr. Fremming, I'm going to have a talk with. Jim Quick looked down the line at him, had his hand still in his pocket, and Jim looked at him to go, and he said, yeah, let's go. Go ahead, throw it, have him pitch. Game going a little slow for Mr. Fremming.
Frankie.
Well, there you see Rob Murphy down in the bullpen. We're in the 4th inning, and they may see a pinch hitter. Base hit to right field. Terry Francona, well, he got robbed of what might have been a home run. Now hits a sharp ground ball through the right side between the first and second baseman, and he comes up with another hit.
Here's a look at the pitch, and it's right there for Terry, and he hit it right on the button hard through the infield. And like lefty Dave Dravecki, I believe, will start throwing.
That is Dravecki. And that is Francona leading as Martinez holds him on, and Storm Davis wants to get him a little bit closer. Nobody out of the dugout down in the on-deck circle right now. Pete looking down the dugout as Murphy continues to throw. Here's Davis's delivery, and it's upstairs.
Well, it's a good luxury for Pete to have a strong bullpen. The 2 middle relievers in course, Rob Murphy, and you got Bill Landrum. You got
There's Stillwell with a bat.
So
Stillwell standing back there. I think it's just going to depend on what position the runner winds up in, Joe. Here's Davis working again to Ronnie Oster. Oh, he just missed down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. The Reds have stolen 5 bases on 5 attempts in the first 2 games. Davis of 3 has 3. Daniels 1. Larkin 1. Lefty Dave Dravecky down in the Padres bullpen continues to warm up. Davis working down 2-0 in the count, and this ball is upstairs but right in the strike zone. Caught the upper part of it, and count is 2-1. Now let's see. Billy DeMars flashes signs. Oster checks in. Francona not great speed. Of course, somewhat slowed by the knee operations, but let's see if Pete has him start up. Storm Davis thinks so, and that's a balk. Eric Davis said he broke his knee, like the old Don Drysdale move. And Charlie Williams, the umpire at first, did not hesitate.
he called it right away, John, and no hesitation whatsoever.
Took us a little drama and suspense out of what we were talking about.
Little balk move there. You got a cover.
Now Oster with a chance to get the ball on the right side. Watches inside. Wants to get it over on the right side to try to get Francona in scoring position. No one out on deck, and the umpires have not requested it as of yet. Usually they look over and say, let's get somebody out there. Pittsburgh leads St. Louis 3-1. Chicago leads Philadelphia 3-2. They're in the third. Atlanta 2-0 over the Mets. That's in the third. The other games are later. Ball upstairs, and well, I think Larry Bowa is going to wait to see what Pete Rose is going to do. And I would think the possibility that Kurt Stillwell may come out of the dugout, because being the switch hitter that he is, why don't we bring Garcia? That's what we say, folks. We're up here just surmising what might happen. And Leo, he can afford to give up, or Leo will bunt the man over. It doesn't matter which side. So I would think that Leo might be up there in a position to bunt. What do you think, Joe?
You would almost bet that Leo Garcia will bunt with Cal Daniels on deck, but who knows?
3 walks so far for Storm Davis. 2 strikeouts in games in the American League. Where is my American League? 11-11. They're going into extra innings in Baltimore and Cleveland. 11-4 final. Detroit over Chicago. 3-0. Boston shut out.
You can look at it another way, I think, John, too, with the good speed of Leo Garcia. That's going to be it for Storm Davis, as Larry Bowa points to the bullpen already. He hasn't crossed the line. So it'll be Dravecky coming on to face Leo Garcia, and we'll see if Pete rotates.
Well, we'll see, and we'll find out after we come back. But like right now, as Dravecky goes in, Storm Davis, Dave Dravecky.
Well, Dave Dravecky, who has been a starter for the Padres in the past, but this will be his 3rd appearance in 4 games for the Padres. He's 0-1 with a .330.
Charlie Williams, the umpire at first, did not hesitate.
He called it right away, John, and no hesitation whatsoever.
Took us a little drama and suspense out of what we were talking about.
Little balk move there. You got a cover.
Now Oster with a chance to get the ball on the right side. Watches inside. Wants to get it over on the right side to try to get Francona in scoring position. No one out on deck, and the umpires have not requested it as of yet. Usually they look over and say, let's get somebody out there. Pittsburgh leads St. Louis 3-1. Chicago leads Philadelphia 3-2. They're in the third. Atlanta 2-0 over the Mets. That's in the third. The other games are later. Ball upstairs, and well, I think Larry Bowa is going to wait to see what Pete Rose is going to do. And I would think the possibility that Kurt Stillwell may come out of the dugout, because being the switch hitter that he is, why don't we bring Garcia? That's what we say, folks. We're up here just surmising what might happen. And Leo, he can afford to give up, or Leo will bunt the man over. It doesn't matter which side. So I would think that Leo might be up there in a position to bunt. What do you think, Joe?
You would almost bet that Leo Garcia will bunt with Cal Daniels on deck, but Who knows?
3 walks so far for Storm Davis. 2 strikeouts in games in the American League. Where is my American League? 11-11. They're going into extra innings in Baltimore and Cleveland. 11-4 final. Detroit over Chicago. 3-0. Boston shutout.
You can look at it another way, I think, John, too, with the good speed of Leo Garcia. That's going to be it for Storm Davis as Larry Boa points to the bullpen already, hasn't crossed the line. So it'll be Dravecky coming on to face Leo Garcia, and we'll see if Pete rotates.
Well, we'll see, and we'll find out after we come back. But right now, as Dravecky goes in, Storm Davis, Dave Dravecky.
Well, Dave Dravecky, who has been a starter for the Padres in the past, but this will be his 3rd appearance in 4 games for the Padres. He's 0-1 with a .338 earned run average. He's worked 2 2/3 innings, so has allowed 4 hits, only a run. Has struck out 3, has not walked anyone. So he'll face Leo Garcia with 2 on and nobody out, and a tie ball game.
Good fastball, runs in on the left-handers. Good breaking ball, very deceptive and hard to pick up. He's up there in bunting situation, but you might look for, if he throws that ball out over the plate, he may be slashing at it. Nope. Well, he got it now. He might be. Let's see how Pete works it right here. Billy DeMar is calling Leo over. Well, with a sacrifice fly, his first major league at bat.
Bill might be talking to him about the wheel play, which is on there, and he sees him charging. Put Mitchell down the third base line, and of course Martinez at first. Why, let's sail, because you're bunting into almost suicide.
Well, it really is. There you see right there the setup for the defense. And Kevin Mitchell's over there at third base, and you see Martinez already in. And as soon as he starts to kick and fire, they start on their dead run. Fouled back towards the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Always tough to bunt on artificial turf, and the signs are being given from Larry Boa out towards Gary Templeton at shortstop. You see Dravecky turning around looking at Templeton. It will be either I am breaking to third, the pitch out, a pickoff play, or the first baseman, second baseman staying. There's about 4 different calls, and the third baseman or the shortstop is usually responsible for it. Garcia squares the bunt. He gets it down. Dravecky's going to have a play at third. He has him. And there we see a ball that was not a bad ball. Not a bad bunt at all, but it was bounded down, and of course the second hop came straight up.
Well, the play on the play is Dravecky getting off the mound. It was a fair bunt, not a good bunt, but the ball bounced up, and Dravecky got off the mound real well, and you can see it right there. Nice bounce for him, and his momentum going toward third, and just an easy play.
Of course, being a left-handed pitcher, it doesn't hurt us either at all.
But the point is the pitcher getting off the mound. Now, if he doesn't break properly, then Garcia's got a shot.
Here's Cal Daniels. Daniels 1 for 1 on the evening. Hit a ball off the center field wall for a double the first time up, and then walked in the second. Dravecky works with a fastball, called a strike by Jim Quick. Well, Joey came about as close as you can get to a home run without getting it. Ball off the top yellow of the center field wall. Dravecky misses down and away, and the count runs to 1 ball and 1 strike.
Here's another look at it, and watch, it hits the very top.
Yeah, this is just a live shot here. We don't have the replay. Maybe we'll bring that up next time.
You can see the nick.
But you can see the nick. You're
it looked that
you're way ahead of me. 1 out in the inning. Reds threatening. He's got it notched out there already. Dravecky working to Daniels, and that ball is right down on the inside part of the plate. And there you see Santiago's arm, not afraid to throw, as Cora and Templeton both just coming in to back up Dravecky, but also at the same time breaking towards the bag. Final, Baltimore beats Cleveland 12-11. Cleveland scoring some runs, but
pitcher's battle.
There's a slider that sometimes he carries across there, and Santiago able to knock it down. The runner's not able to advance.
Number 64 was the winner for Baltimore. Must have been a non-roster player this spring.
64 for who now?
Baltimore.
64 for Baltimore. Williamson.
There you go.
There you go. You want to fill us in on him? Ball grounded foul towards Tony, and Tony not about to hurt those mitts. I think, is he soft-handed? Tony says that's somebody else's job. That's why they got a ball boy down in the bullpen. That's why they got two guys standing there in front of Bruce Kim as he warms up Rob Murphy, and Murphy should just about be ready.
Mark Williamson didn't have a number this spring in Baltimore. He, in fact, must have went to them in the
for Storm
deals.
Davis.
Right.
He sure did. He pitched at Las Vegas last year.
Ouch.
Fouled straight down and got part of Cal Daniels' foot. I'm surprised Murphy is still throwing. Of course, with one out, he doesn't want to have to go out there. Now he's pacing out there. You see Cal Daniels pacing as well. So we got two pacers on and two on base.
Here's a look at it. You think this doesn't hurt? Watch. Ow.
Ooh, just
right
got
on the
that corn, right there where that big corn of yours is down there. Tracy Jones fouled one down the other day. That was right on top of the foot down in Asheville. That one just sort of caught the bunion part that sticks out beside the big toe joint area. Misses it for the fastball high, and I really like Dravecki. I tell you, he's had some arm problems. She's talking about a guy with some good stuff. I faced him, so I can tell you firsthand that he does have a good live arm, and when it's sound, I expected him last year as a starter to win a lot of ball games. Once again with the arm problems, he deals back to Daniels. Runners are going. He fouls it again. Full count, and Pete had the runners off to the races. There you see Oster having to go back to second base. There's Garcia checking the signs at third. Garcia on because of a fielder's choice. Ronnie Oster on by a base on balls. One hit in the inning. And let's see if they go again. There you see Oster taking off. Daniels swinging a high fastball. Santiago throws to Kevin Mitchell, and Ronnie Oster is caught in no man's land. They're going to be able to tag him safe. There goes Garcia back, and now Oster gets up, and Templeton tags him, and he's out. Well, Santiago got rid of the ball so quick, Oster wasn't even halfway to third base because of a late jump. And foiled again. Cal Daniels went after ball 4, and the Reds come up with nothing. They got a hit and a walk. They have 2 men left to score after 4 innings of play, all tied up at 3. Gonna be a big day. But Joe, Ron didn't have much of a chance on that play.
He had really nothing else to do. You can see it here. It's Kevin Mitchell with the ball running Oster back. Does a pretty good job. Now the headlong slide. You can see the umpire call him safe, but there stands Leo Garcia. And now Gary Templeton says, well, I'll just put the tag on Oster if he thinks he wants to go to third. So really a rock and a hard spot for Oster. And if you're scoring with us, score at 6 unassisted. You can wipe out Kevin Mitchell's throw, and you can wipe out Santiago's throw.
You're absolutely right. Here's Rob Murphy. Left-hander for the Reds. Hits the outside corner against Carlo Martinez. And gets a strike.
This is Murph's first appearance of the year, John.
Okay. That's why he has no record on the old stat sheet. He misses down with a curveball. 7 different Reds players had 2 home runs in a game. How many can you name? Bonus, which player hit 3 homers in a game? That was in 1986. Eric Davis hit 3, I think. Was that Eric Davis? As I can recall, I would guess, probably guess a couple of them. Parker, Bell, Davey. I think the only 2 home runs he hit all year was in the same game, weren't they?
Yeah, in Atlanta.
There's Goose Gossage. He's on a day-to-day basis because of an inflamed tendon in his left arm. I think that was the last report I got.
Pulled rib cage, left.
Pulled rib cage. You're absolutely right. There's a ball hit in the air to right field. Parker drifts back, now comes in a couple of steps and makes the catch. Let's pause 5 seconds now to pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
Channel 5, WLWT, Cincinnati.
One man out. Murphy retiring Carmelo Martinez on a fly ball to right field. Here's John Kruk. Kruk with 2 base hits. Single to right, single to left, and Murphy bounces the curveball.
This young man, he was all hepped up, I think, last winter when there was trade talks about him coming to Cincinnati. He was all for it, John Kruk. Kaiser, West Virginia.
Ball hit back up the middle off the mound right past Murphy. He was able to get out of the way of it so Davis could field it. John Kruk working on what you call a real nice evening.
Now the thing about John Kruk, there's a pitch. Now that pitch is inside, and he hits it up the middle, right off the mound and on into center field. But the young kid, he just hits the ball all over the place. He has 2 hits, 3 hits now, and he's hit 1 to right, 1 to left, and this one to center. So I would say that's using the whole field.
Here's Santiago 0 for 2. Line popped up to Oster and then hit into a fielder's choice to end the 3rd inning.
As we go through the years, you'll find that I make those kind of insinuations, and sometimes they really catch you by surprise.
Yeah, I just figured I'd let everybody at home make their own decision on that. Murphy misses down and away, looking for the ground ball. Good sinker ball. Kruk leads at first as Terry Francona holds him on. Santiago, 22 years old, waits for Murphy and fouls it straight back, and Kruk was running on the play. I was just looking through here to see what kind of speed Mr. Kruk had. I know he can run a little bit. I just want to see if he would steal bases. Last year at San Diego, he stole 2. Under Larry Boa, he's asking him to steal a little bit more. He only stole 2 in '85, 2 in '84. So maybe a little bit of a hit and run. Try to get him started. Mr. Murphy now will pay a little bit more attention over there. He works the home plate, and Santiago hits it on a line towards Parker. He'll have it. And there's 2 outs in the inning. Dave holding up 2 outs as he indicates to Eric Davis, and also Cal Daniels working towards Davis, and you see Frank Williams going down to the bullpen.
Say, Santiago is a good-looking young player. Kid sits up behind that plate really good and swings the bat quite well, and we know he can throw.
Woo. The only chance we had when Oster was stealing was that Mitchell's web broke.
That's right.
Here's Templeton, lined out to Terry Francona, who made a diving grab in the first, and then lined right at Ronnie Oster. So he's going to try the other side of the infield this time as he turns around, being the switch batter that he is, but he hits it right back to Murphy. Murphy over to first, and a good inning for Rob Murphy. They got a hit, and they left him on. They did not score at the end of 4.5 innings of play. It's all tied at 3. Padres did score. That tied the ball game up. Storm Davis and Ted Power, both the starters, are no longer in the game. Frank Williams warms up in the bullpen. Dave Dravecky has come in to replace Storm Davis. Rob Murphy for the Reds now pitches after Ted Power. And Dave Dravecky works with a fastball to Barry Larkin. 1 for 2 on the evening. Single and RBI in the second.
Well, you better say hello to Mildred Stowe, Bernie's mom. She's laid up. Hopes Mildred's doing all right.
By all means. Pop back. Benito Santiago runs out of room. Yes, let's say hello to Mildred. Mildred, we love you. Hope you're all right. You sure got a great son.
And grandsons, too.
And grandsons, absolutely. I wouldn't try to eliminate them, but, well, they've been around the clubhouse so long. We've seen them grow up, haven't we, Joe?
That's right.
I'll tell you. One of the finest guys who ever walked the face of this earth, Bernie Stowe. Well, Mildred, I'm sure it was all because of you. It's a great credit to you. What kind of fine son you have. Dave Dravecky works back to Larkin. A high fastball grounded down past the ball boy and into left field. Kruk over, and Kruk is everywhere. Of course, 3 for 3. You have that kind of spring, but I've seen John Kruk when he's 0 for 12 still play like that. Here's Dravecky, and he misses upstairs. Sneaky fastball for Dave Dravecky. Larkin looks for a pitch, and there's Dave Parker. He's 1 for 2 on the evening. His home run, 2-run homer in the first that tied the ball game up, and now Dravecky works 1 and 2. Hit well into left field on the ground. Struck up with it, and Larkin. You know, the Reds ticket offices at Riverfront Stadium and the Reds gift shop are now open daily. Seats for all Reds home games, including special dates like Senior Citizens Day, are on sale now. You can park free on the stadium plaza while purchasing tickets, and the Reds computerized ticket system lets you buy the best seats available at all ticket outlets. Reds tickets are available by phone, mail, and at all Ticketmaster locations. And there you see the locations right there. Well, we'd like to have a little location, as Barry Larkin had good location, and Dave Parker, home run and a strikeout, and he chased a high fastball by Dravecky. 2 for 3 for Barry Larkin. Batting average of 300 for Dave Parker with this 1 for 2 evening. Blows his bubble, and Dave Dravecky tries to bust it. See the Reds dugout, and the crowd there in the background as Benito Santiago hangs the sign. Dravecky has it, works at the stretch, and now almost balks, and he almost got a pick off. Somewhere in between a step, Charlie Williams has already called 1 balk, that being on Storm Davis, and he had Mr. Larkin leaning. They know the Reds will run 5 for 5 in the stolen base category, and Larkin has asked for time. Charlie Williams is making sure he's got it. Probably not completely on his own, Joe. I would imagine that Pete has to give Barry the steal sign until he gets his feet on the ground.
I would think you're correct. Probably the only one is Eric, of course. He can go about whenever he likes. And he
Another
makes
astute observation.
Whenever he wants to steal, he just goes ahead and steals. You know, you need a M1 to get him.
Oh, my arm doesn't even hurt anymore. Here's Parker waiting for Dravecky. Larkin breaks back to first, and another swing and a miss by Dave Parker. Well, he's got Larkin's number at first base, because when he picked his foot up, he took a little step back towards first base. In fact, he was halfway back to first from the edge of the cutout. That's a good move. Do you have a good move, Joe?
Yeah, if they didn't run. Every once in a while I pick somebody up.
One big foot out there on the AstroTurf, and Dravecky goes over there again. With that kind of lead Barry has, he's asking to have the ball thrown over there, and it's hard for him not to have in his mind that he has to be going back, because he has got 1 foot on and almost the other one. Dravecky works towards home. There goes Larkin.
He's got it.
No, he doesn't either. Santiago's throw. Yes, he does.
He had a great jump, John, and I think you were talking about the lead, and he made up his mind. Well, if he comes over here, I'm a dead pigeon anyway, and he took off and made it.
Well, you know, the time when he broke back, he may have been able to read him.
Here he goes right now. See, and look at that. He's gone. There's a pretty strong throw by Santiago, a little off to the right, but Barry's there easily. Here's another look at it. I don't think a throw on the bag would have gotten it.
No, and I tell you, he got rid of that ball as quick as you can get away with it. Had a great deal of velocity on it, but no good. He sits inside as Parker got struck out inside, and this ball misses. Last time up, Parker took a pitch inside that he thought was a ball, then took a pitch that was a strike, and then swung out. Swung at a pitch right through it.
Swung out?
Swung out right through it.
One of those Midwestern hay rides somewhere?
Whoa.
Swung out and swing in. Swing your partner roundabout. No.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Hey. Ball hit well to center field. Davis Jefferson has room. He's at the wall, and Larkin is tagged up. Jefferson had room back there. He coasted back, and now, of course, with Dave Parker hits the ball well, it doesn't matter what part of the ballpark he hits it in. And Jefferson just coasted back.
I think Dave felt that he had another one, and I think a lot of people did, but well, the next best thing is, of course, getting that runner over. With 1 out now, he's in scoring position. The go-ahead run for Davis.
The outfielders for the San Diego Padres have seen most of this ballpark.
They've been all over, haven't they?
They have caught fly balls off the wall, seen balls go on the wall, seen balls go over the wall. And that's just 6 hits for the Reds. The Padres have 9 hits. Padres have got a hit in every inning. Here's Davis looking for his RBI. Hit well on the line. Will fall in to left field for a base hit. Buck has to get over and field it. A good, strong throw into second base. And there you go. Well, that would have scored him from second, but it sure makes it a lot simpler now. And Eric Davis comes up with another RBI. Eric Davis, RBI number 3. That's his first hit of the evening, Joe.
There's another look at the swing by Eric, and boy, he's getting that Billy DeMar swing down better each time to the plate. That's the truth. He's swinging down on the ball, letting him go up on it near like he used to.
Throw over to first base, and I'm sure that Eric Davis, if he can read directly, will be off to the races. Another throw to first base. You know, sometimes a pitcher will give himself away. Joe Morgan used to study them, and if a pitcher looked right at you, he was going to home. If he looked towards home, he was going over there. Now, that's not true on every pattern. Now,
you can bet your boots that Rebecca's got Eric Davis trying to trick him in some way.
Yeah, and I can bet you that Santiago may be wanting to pitch out.
Be ready, buddy, for a good pitch to Hack.
He's going over to first base again. Well, you're going to hear a lot of boos because he's going to be throwing over there. That's what happens when you have a team with a lot of speed. They go over to first. Many, many times. If he can get his leg kick in between. Gave him a quick look, and a quick pitch down and away has Bell popping it in the air. Jefferson over. Gwynn. Jefferson makes the play. Popped him up. Buddy looking for that first pitch fastball. Got it. Just ran away from him and down. And 2 outs in the inning. Both fly balls to center field. And that brings up Bo Diaz. Bo 0 for 2 on the evening. Grounded to short. Struck out. Pitch out. Trying to guess with Eric Davis, and there's no way to steal signs because Billy DeMar doesn't give them when Eric Davis is on base. Ball and 2 strikes. He's going to go over to first base. Got a dive back this time. Kind of waited a little bit longer to see how he would do it. A little slower as he goes towards first base. He was quick going towards home on the pitch before. Dave blows that little breath of air, trying to relax, and he now composes himself. Does a quick one, and there goes Davis.
Got it.
Joe,
no contest.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's just amazing. And we were telling Bo about him being able to really run. I don't know if that's speeded up or if that's just him.
Regular speed.
That was regular speed. And there's a good, well, Joey Cora having trouble catching that. A little bit of a slider on that. He knew he had no chance.
Action.
Trying to be quick-handed. And Templeton now goes over as they're going to walk Bo Diaz. And they're just playing the percentages here as the left-handed batter Francona stands in the on-deck circle. And they'd rather go against the lefty-lefty situation than they would give Bo a chance. And, of course, Bo with 4 RBIs has been hitting well. And Galen Cisco comes out of the dugout.
Now, I would have to think of Galen and say, look, you got 2 outs. And Davis, you know he can steal, so pay attention, but don't let him distract you from a left-handed batter, which could happen very easily. Pitcher could, with a guy like Davis, you say, well, I'm not going to allow him to steal third, and all of a sudden you're distracted and make a mistake and you really get hurt. So that's the way we hope it turns out, but I would imagine that's what Galen's talked to him about.
You've been pretty good so far, Joe. You've called him very well so far. How many years up in the booth is this for you?
Did what?
How many years in the booth for you?
It's 21 of them.
About time you're calling them right.
I watched you catch for a while, too, you know.
Boy, if you could figure out what I was in, I wish you'd have sent me a note. Here's Francona. Terry 1 for 2 on the evening. Singled his second time up. That was in the 4th inning. And Davis getting a little bit bigger lead, and Francona asked for time, and Jim Quick gives it to him. DeVecchi, with the sound of the crowd, unsure, and did finally turn around and see that Francona indeed had stepped out of the box. DeVecchi works towards Francona, and a good pitch, but it's outside for a ball. Good quick turn on a fastball by Storm Davis, and he got the base hit. 3-0 it is. Atlanta over New York there in the 4th or 5th inning. One of those two. High fastball swung through by Francona. Kind of in his eyes. A good pitch, but it may have been a little bit out of the strike zone. And the count evens at 1. Working the Reds bullpen as Frank Williams is down there. And we have a left-hander down there as well. That should be Guy Hoffman. So with Guy Hoffman down there, you would think that they may have made their choice for the 4th starter. Joe?
Landrum has to be it, doesn't he?
Yes, I believe so.
Maybe not.
Yeah, we haven't figured it totally out yet, have we? 2 balls and a strike as he misses with a breaking ball down and away. Pete on that, gnawing on that bazooka, or one form of gum or the other that they have down there. They have many varieties. Francona stares intently out to DeVecchi. He delivers fastball down at the knees, popped him up. There's Templeton. He'll make the play. The Reds get 2 hits. They score a run to take the lead. They leave 2 men on base. After 5 innings of play, the Reds lead 4-3. Joey Cora and Storm Davis. This is actually his 2nd inning. The pitch, and Cora, the switch hitter, turns around. Down in the bullpen, Craig Lefferts warms for the San Diego Padres. Pitcher will be the 3rd hitter, the 2nd hitter in the inning, and on deck already a pinch hitter out there. Number 5, Randy Reddy, I guess. Is Randy ready? I'm sure they've said that 8 million times. Murphy off the mound, tugging at the hat, getting the feel of the seams that he likes on the ball. Works from the stretch and works down with a fastball. 2 balls and a strike. Cora hitting .300. He's 0 for 1 on the evening. He's got a base on balls and grounded to second base his first time up. Cora looks at a pitch up, and it's 3-1. There was some laboring going on down in the Reds bullpen, but it has ceased as the pitcher does bat next inning. He'll be the 2nd hitter for the Reds as well. Almost identical, the same number of batters for both ball clubs going into this 6th inning. 9 hits for the Padres, 7 for the Reds. A couple more base on balls given up, and 1 more run. He missed with a fastball down and away, and he walked the 8th hitter, and well, that's twice that Joey Cora has been aboard via the free pass. Not a pleasing one as Randy Reddy steps in and looks down at Harry Dunlap. There you see Sandy Alomar. Good ball player in his day. And a nice man. I've played against him many years. Nice to see him up here. Bo Diaz is going out to talk to Murphy, making sure he knows what he's doing, and as far as a bunt is concerned. You know, Sandy has a son that's 20 years old, 6'5", 200 pounds. You sure, Sandy?
He must have stretched that youngster.
And he's played 3 years of pro ball. Only hit 7 home runs in 3 years. He's got Sandy's power. There's a fastball that misses down and away. Sandy played for 15 years, 1,481 games, 245 lifetime. Signed with Milwaukee, played with the Braves, the White Sox, the Angels, the Yankees. Well traveled and well thought of. Murphy now gets right back to the work, and there's a fastball away, and it's fouled back over the dugout area for the Reds. Bounces off that rally around the Red sign.
Well, the Padres playing run and hit there with Cora running on the pitch. And Frank Williams will start cranking it up again in the Reds bullpen.
Yeah, you might see somebody going in playing first base, a double switch if they have to. Murphy going to check Cora again. Got it on the outside corner. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Home runs in the American League. Whitaker is first. Noakes is first. Evans is first. Lemon is second. Hewlett for Chicago is first. Ray Knight for Baltimore hit his second. He's got 2. Pat Tabler, the Cincinnati native, has his second. Ripken hits his first, and Robin Yount hit his first.
I think the New York Mets are going to miss Ray Knight.
He got him. Struck him out on a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. Well, that's what we did there.
I'm sure you like to see that when you were catching, where they bring that breaking ball over the outside edge, starts it out there, and see he gave up on it, and boom, that looked like it was almost down the middle.
It was a big breaking ball, and you know, if you haven't seen a pitcher and you don't know he tries to do that, you don't know if he has that big of a sweeping breaking ball. All he's showing him is running away fastballs, and when he starts it out there, you do have a tendency to give up on it. Stan Jefferson, well, you can see right there, he's working on a pretty good night. Tripled in the first, and he singled twice on the second and the fourth. And Murphy hits the outside corner with a fastball for a strike. Williams kind of slowing down his work. And the bullpen now that Murphy has things a little bit better under control. Getting that big strikeout. He should be ready. He's had enough warm-up tosses. Corey leads, and there he goes, and they got him picked off. Get it down there, Terry.
Got him.
Good play.
We'll see it on the replay, I hope, but you see Francona taking the ball and stepping toward home plate and throwing, and that's the important thing. Now, if he stays right there and throws, he's going to hit Cora right in the back, but he stepped in toward home and made a good throw to Barry Larkin. Good play by Terry Francona and Barry.
You saw him take the angle, and runners will start running towards the inside part of that line. Try to block the shot of the throw. They'll take one in the back just because they're embarrassed they just got picked off. So now Frank Williams is able just to stand there and watch as a spectator for a while as Murphy now has 2 outs in the inning and nobody on. He got Jefferson way out front, and he got a hit in the count too. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Reds lead here 4-3.
I think Murph threw a forkball when he came up, and was probably changed the terminology to a split-fingered fastball.
Tried to hit the outside corner with a breaking ball. That one he did not try to break quite as much. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rather slow-paced ball game. We're in the 6th inning, and we've almost been playing 2 hours. Picking guys off will speed it off. Hit on the ground towards shortstop. Larkin up with it over to Francona, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. He got 3 outs anyway. I wouldn't necessarily be in that order. So Murphy gets the job done. They'll probably pinch hit for him, and he takes the Reds into the bottom of the 6th with them leading 4-3.
For the year, 3 innings, a couple of hits.
Well, it looks like Murphy
hit a batter,
bit there.
Struck out a couple, or walked a couple. Both of them intentional walks. No Ks.
Yeah, they had to play a few different types of games as they lost 3 one-run ball games to the San Francisco Giants. And Ronnie Oster had a triple his first time up. He's 1 for 2. No, he's 1 for 1. He walked there in the old 4th inning.
There's old Tracy right there. Tracy Jones. He's chomping at the bit.
Oh, chomping. Man is serious about getting up there wanting to hit. I like a guy that likes to hit. Ronnie Robinson down in the Reds bullpen. Fires it up a little bit. Pete would like to see another couple of runs before Ronnie comes in. So would I. There's a ball hit well, but pulled foul. Two balls and 2 strikes. Excuse me?
Ball boy.
Yeah, the ball boy is 2 for none. There you see the big red hit.
That's a tough play. I'll say hello to Jared Allen. Jared's up in Children's Hospital. Tony Perez visited Jared this afternoon and wanted us to say hello to him, John.
Jared, how you doing, pal? Hope you're still up listening along with your friends. Breaking ball up, and the count's full.
Tracy, he's on deck and he's ready here.
Oh, he did not check it. He said he went. Well, I'm not arguing at all. Tracy Jones gets a chance to come to the plate.
Here's the pitch that tries to hold up on the pitch out away from him, and see, yep, he went, no question about it. And you can see Oster turn and ask the umpire. See here he is, turns and asks the umpire, was it a good pitch? And Jim Quick says nope.
Tracy with an opportunity to go to the plate. Get a chance to have a whack at it. He's been waiting for this. Breaking ball. Tracy has not been to the plate so far this year, so this is his first appearance. Foul back. Another off-speed pitch. This one will land about row 18, I think. No balls and 2 strikes. Kind of quieted down here. Oh, he missed way down and in. Tracy having to skip away. He fouled the ball down in Nashville on his foot. And I tell you, he was hopping around there, and I don't blame him. I think that's where I got about 3 or 4 of my broken bones. 1 out here as the Reds bat in the bottom of the 6th, and Ballet. Tell you what, he can play for me. He and Kruk together would have some intensity, wouldn't he?
A whole bunch.
Good power. Has been relegated to the bench because Cal Daniels is the starter, has been chosen as such, and of course Reds having seen only right-handers up to this point. See what happens if Tracy gets a little playing time, and now Lefferts not sure of what Santiago's trying to call him. Trying to pitch. He said fastball. Okay. Joe, holler at Tracy, would you? Fastball.
If we read his lips right, it's probably to a curve.
Make sure you get it in the right place. He did. He got it in the right place. Tracy Jones lacing it down the left field line. Good speed will take him easily into second base.
He heard it.
Joe, the whistle, I think that was the deal. I think it was the whistle.
I think he heard it.
Well, he got it in the right spot. That's what the spot we were looking for.
Here's a look at it, and wang right there for Jonesy.
Well, we've been getting some good pinch hitting, haven't we?
Outstanding. That's what, the 3rd hit.
Well, Davey got a pinch hit yesterday, looks like.
See.
1 game, 1 at bat. I didn't see that. They're going to turn around and try to pick him off, and Jonesy diving back in. Boy, that made him happy. You know why? He can get in the dirt.
He got dirty.
He can get dirty.
Yeah, but he can dust it off. Watch, he won't dust him.
No, he won't. Look at those socks. Are they in his shoes? Looks like Klazuski's. Daniels looks at the ball away. 1 for 2 on the evening. A double, a base on balls, and a strikeout to his credit so far. Trying to make this score 5-3 with a base hit. Leffert works to Santiago. Ball pulled into the alley. That's going to be in there for extra base hit. Tony Gwynn takes it off the wall. Here comes Jones easily, and the two guys who were depending on playing left field have just gone back-to-back with a double. Second double of the evening for Cal Daniels. You see Tracy Jones coming in, getting congratulations, and there you see Cal Daniels. And Cal said, I don't want you to one-up me. I'm going to be the left fielder, but let's get some great production. He hit it hard.
Here's a look at the pitch, and the pitch out away from Cal. You could see him reach for it right there, and he hit the ball very good. You didn't think he hit a ball quite that well reaching for it, but he got the good part of the bat on it. Cal, a strong young man, so big run right there.
Yes, he is strong. That's a little deceiving, but I tell you, he can quick wrist it. We saw the ball off the top of the fence and straightaway center, and San Diego has sent out Ed Wojna to warm up. He was up earlier, and Lefferts works on the outside part of the plate. Back-to-back doubles by Jones and Daniels, giving the Reds another little bit of breathing room, and Ron Robinson still is warming up in the bullpen. Only one out in the inning, and Larkin trying to get Daniels in. Daniels off to the races. The big leg kick by Lefferts. Let me see that score again. Is that right, Jeff? Milwaukee 8-2 after one inning of play. They're in the top of the second. Boy, there's some serious hitting going on in that league.
Must have had a big inning.
Even Jesse thinks.
Let me add this one to it. It must have had a big inning.
Yo. Well, we saw some big innings. The Phillies got some big inning, and the Braves came back to beat them, and the Reds have had to come from behind again, and a real good play by Santiago as the curveball bounces in the dirt. Santiago moving well behind the plate, able to get over the 6'1", 185-pounder, moving his frame over there, very agile. Of course, when you're 22 years old,
you could be agile.
It's a little easier to be agile. Mobile, hostile.
Bounce around, too.
Well, a good inning so far. Tracy Jones with a double and was able to get dirty on a pickoff attempt, and then Cal Daniels' double has extended it. There's a good pitch down at the knees, and he got Barry Larkin looking. I thought he might have been looking for the breaking ball. He was looking for something other than what it was. And there's two outs in the inning.
Here's another look at the pitch, and I don't know. It's very close. I think Barry thought the pitch was low, but Jim Quick says.
Well, Barry down in a crouch. He gets down in a crouch, and then when he stands back up, it does change it. And I think that bat will go in there a little sharply. No, he's going to give it to the bat boy. He said, I can't get it in, and that's just good common sense. Santiago talking to Lefferts now about pitching the lesser of two evils, Dave Parker or Eric Davis. Normally pitch around a guy like Dave Parker to get to the next man, but the next man's Eric Davis. Second game in a row that Parker has hit a home run, and he got him out front with a breaking ball, and Lefferts goes ahead 0-1. 2 hits in the inning and also 2 strikeouts to Lefferts' credit. Davis pitched 3 innings, Dravecki 2, and now Lefferts on, trying to hold the Reds just with that 1-run inning. He hung the breaking ball, but it was so off speed that Dave couldn't re-pull the trigger. Tried to regroup, but he popped it up, and look at the young lady taking credit. She's got the ball right there in her possession, and the guy shaking his hand, saying, I'll do anything for you, honey. I'll walk through fire. I'll catch that little $4 baseball. Well, I guess they're about 8 now, aren't they? Lefferts looks in. He's up 0-2 on the count. Misses with a fastball in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ron Robinson through with his warm-up pitches down in the bullpen.
The Astronomicals at it again. 5
There's Cal Daniels. Well, yes, they are, aren't they?
And they just called a balk on Lefferts. He started up and stopped, and
second balk of the game.
Jim Quick, the plate umpire, calls the balk.
That'll please Larry Boa. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Just a little base hit, Dave. That slider stayed up and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
There's old Larry.
Well, he's stomping that nail again and trying at both feet. Now he's telling Galen he didn't have to call that balk. But that he did, because he saw it. Ground ball fouled off the front of the Reds dugout, and the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, there's 12-11. That was in 10 innings. Baltimore beat Cleveland. Detroit beat Chicago 11-4. Milwaukee scored 8 in the first inning. They lead Texas 8-2. The team scored 10 runs in the first inning. Fastball on the inside part of the plate, and Jim Quick rings him up. Parker has struck out twice. 1 for 4. He walks right on away. He got a home run in the first inning. Reds pick up a run to extend their lead to 5-3 at the end of 6.
Someone put a bender in my left front.
Well, or one of those are college students. It is college night. It's top of the 7th inning. They're seeing the Reds off to a good start after trailing 2-0. They've now come back 5-3, and well, Ron Robinson's in to do the duty for the 7th inning, Joe.
Well, his second outing of the year, John. He came on against Montreal and pitched very, very good. And pitched 2 innings. Or 3 innings. This will be his third appearance. He was in both games.
Yeah, he pitched that 1 inning there in the first.
Struck out 3, walked 1.
Pitched rather well on Wednesday during the businessman special. Led nationally relievers with 117 strikeouts. They also allowed the most hits. I guess if you pitch the most innings, you're liable to do that. Misses inside to Gwynn, and quickly the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Gwynn on the evening. Well, he got an infield hit his last time up. He got a base hit in the first inning, so that makes him 2 for 3. Raised his average to 267. He started at 167. And you won't expect to see, that's probably about the lowest average he'll have for a while. Fly ball hit in the left field. There's Daniels over. He makes the play easily, and Ronnie Robinson gets his first man that he faces. Lefferts Davis threw 3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs. He walked 3 and struck out 1. Drevecki 2 innings, 2 hits. He gave up a run, walked 1 intentionally. He had no strikeouts. Lefferts gave up a run the last inning. He got 3 strikeouts. That was sandwiched around a couple of doubles. Robinson working, just missing on the outside part of the plate. Kevin Mitchell got the collar going, 0 for 3 tonight. Started the night hitting .333. He's down to .267. Fastball fouled back over first base and into the stands. On deck, Carmelo Martinez. Reds coming up in the bottom of the 7th inning, our stretch inning, home stretch inning. Eric Davis, Buddy Bell, and Bo Diaz. RBIs for the first 4 men in the batting order tonight. Daniels with 1, Larkin with 1, Parker with 2, and Davis with 1. Fastball upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. 9 hits for the Padres, 9 hits for the Reds. Reds lead it though, 5-3. Both teams have played errorless ball, although there have been 2 balks by San Diego pitchers. Mitchell fouls it back up again over the right side, and Robinson's got that fastball tuned up. Mitchell, who does hit well to all fields and with good power, came over to the as the central figure, you might say, for the San Diego Padres in the trade that gave up good young center fielder Kevin McReynolds. Browning works with a curve. Robinson worked with a curveball, and it was a good one. Strikeout number 1 for Ron Robinson.
There's the old, I think Kevin might have thought this pitch was high. Here's the old hook ball, and you could see where he had a little bit of gripe, but he was beat on it. He started in and said, wait a minute, it's coming this way, and then it went that way. And by that time, he was going that way.
Martinez swings through the fastball. 1 for 3 on the evening, doubled in the first. Picked up an RBI. Playing first base tonight in place of Steve Garvey, if you're wondering. Larry Boa gave the night off to Steve, and looked like things were working well as the Padres got 4 hits in the first inning. They came up with 2 runs, and only a nice play by Terry Francona kept that from being more. Off the bat of Gary Templeton, he dove, caught one, fouled at the plate, Jim Quick, and quick response by Terry Francona. Probably would have been 1 run, maybe more, and there you see Steve loosening up. Top of the order. Might see him pinch hitting and probably be down towards the bottom, as Joey Cora would be a candidate for that, or the pitching spot, which is runs 8th and 9th as it is, with Cora 8th and the pitcher 9th. Breaking ball just missed outside, and count evens at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the top of the 7th inning. I'm Johnny Bench with Joe Nuxall. Exciting Reds baseball brought to you on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network, and there's another foul ball back over in the upper deck. That was one of the college students.
Oh, those nachos look good, don't they?
Boy, everything looks good right now, Joe. I may just let Marty have the whole 8th inning and just go right down there. Surprised you were able to locate. That's the only thing you can locate in that whole picture. Find the nachos.
Yes,
Strikeout number 2 in the inning. 3 up and 3 down. The Reds going to the bottom of 7th. They lead 5-3. Hit the first pitch thrown to him by Craig Lefferts. Hit it on a line. Hit the last time up in the 5th inning. He laced one off for Dravecki. Then almost in the same place.
There it is, right there it is, and Eric just got right down on it. And God almighty, the talent that guy has.
He's overrated.
Huh? Routine? Average? Average shot. Okay.
Watch this. Watch this steal right here. See if Buddy gives him time to steal. Cora is standing just only about 4 steps off the bag, and he'll probably be standing over there. And that's a good shot for Buddy Bell. Let him go ahead. He goes back. Nobody's there. Cora had bluffed him and then headed back to his position. He has to be a little careful here. I'll tell you what, when you have to worry about a man at second base like that, almost as much as you do at first, and you really do. It's easier to steal second than it is steal third. You know why, too, right?
I would assume it's because it's only a 95th throw. Is that?
No, there's a shortstop between second and third.
I figured you'd pull that sometime. I was going to do it to you, but I didn't think it'd be appropriate.
Now, that's the oldest one in the book. Sure, folks, sure. But it's the 7th inning. Here's Leffert working behind to Buddy Bell. Davis stays, and he works behind farther. 2-0. Wojna down in the San Diego bullpen. He's been up. This is his 3rd time. Looks like he's got a knuckleball or a forkball, split-fingered fastball that he's trying to throw. As you can see him sort of flutter the ball. Cora breaking over, standing on the bag, and Leffert has to step off because Cora out of position. Buddy Bell's job to get the runner over to 3rd, and that left second base area wide open. Now Buddy, something in his eye, asks for time.
Remember Klazuski used to do that, and it seemed like every time he did it, he'd smoke one somewhere.
See Ed Whitson charting the pitches there, and 2-0. I'm surprised that he would be taking that pitch, especially in that location. Maybe his eye is bothered, and he just didn't pick it up. Whitson at San Diego once, then went to the Yankees, now back with San Diego. Did a good job and got into the rotation. He missed inside. 3 balls and a strike. Saw a beach ball going to the dugout for the Reds a while ago. Pete had it playing around with it. There's Bo Diaz. waiting for his turn. Buddy Bell 0 for 3 on the evening, trying to get a base hit. He won't have the chance this time at bat anyway, as Lefferts issues his first walk of the evening. Inning started out with Lefferts striking out Oster, and you wonder how intense Pete Rose is during the game. And
he's going to take that home to Tyler.
You better believe it. Kids love those balls, don't they? I've never seen a ball go in a dugout and somebody didn't want to try to pick it up and take it home, let the air out like they're really doing a service, and all they're doing is stuff it in the back pocket.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the old left-hand hookup.
Oh, wait a minute. That's enough out of the truck.
Yeah, the truck, that was very low, Mr. Rainoni. Looked like a fast, well, it does sort of look like your fastball in batting practice.
Oh, well, you mean current?
Current? Oh, nobody. I would never insinuate like
current. That might be paying me a compliment.
Bell at first.
Good bunt. Davis
at second, and a good bunt. Of course, the great thing about Davis's speed, he'll make almost any bunt good, but that was an outstanding bunt by Bo Diaz, and the fans greeted with great applause. Just not that easy to bunt, and these people appreciate that.
Here, I don't think they were really expecting the bunt, but you can see the Lefferts doesn't get off the mound quickly, and Bo gets the job done. Excellent job by Bo Diaz.
Well, they really didn't, Joe, because you see Carmelo take the throw. He had time to get back, but it caught him a little bit off guard. Diaz, I guess they assumed he wouldn't bunt him because Terry Francona, the left-handed hitter, was up behind him. Terry 1 for 3. Infield has to play in, and what looked like a check swing on a ball down and away in the dirt is called a strike by Jim Quick, and now Jim's going out and telling Francona that he swung at it. And I don't like to see an umpire go out to a hitter like that. That just means they're looking for trouble. Of course, they could have been said the wrong words to as well. Another breaking ball that Francona did not have a real good swing on. In fact, he was kind of bailing out on that big sweeping breaking ball, and Lefferts does have a good one. Runners at second and third, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Pittsburgh defeated St. Louis 4-3. Chicago leads Philadelphia 4-3 in the 8th. The Braves and the Mets are tied up at 3 in the 7th, and Houston leads Montreal 5-0 in the 4th. Hit on the ground, past the diving shortstop Templeton. 1 run in, Trucks throw to home plate. Buddy Bell will be out of there.
A perfect throw by John Kruk. You can't take it up and hand it to the catcher any better than that, and that's what it took, and Kruk got the job done. You give him credit. It's a good gamble, but perfect throw it took, and Mr. Kruk did it. All right, here's a look at Kruk. He comes up good rhythm, throwing, and you can see it now. His buddy's about 20 feet from the plate, and the bounce, look at that, right there, distant. Well, I don't know when you look
Well,
at
he
it.
doubled up his left leg, and his knee never got to it. The other foot, if it had gone to the plate, might have been in there.
An excellent throw by John Kruk.
Yes, it was. Here's Oster. He fouls it off. Ronnie tripled in the 2nd, had a base on balls, and then struck out in the 6th. Francona with a base hit, 1 RBI, and, well, see what good bunting does, Joe? Everybody knows that, right?
Puts it right there.
Good sacrifice. The Reds lead 6-3. And they pounded out 11 hits, and Lefferts misses inside to even the count at 1 ball and a strike. Francona. Of course, Kruk able to play in just a little bit more shallow because of 2 strikes and the lack of power by Francona towards the left field area, but it doesn't matter. All in all, it was a very fine play executed by the left fielder and the catcher. Off-speed breaking pitch down. Ronnie looks at it, lets it go by, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Terry Francona at first base. Second hit in the inning for the Reds. A double by Eric Davis, a walk to Buddy Bell, a sacrifice. And now Lefferts in jeopardy of walking Ronnie Oster. And then you look in the on-deck circle and you see Ronnie Robinson. And you might at that time See a change in the pitcher. If he walked him, and he did. Oster draws his second walk of the game. 1 for 2 on the evening, and Larry Boa right now saying, I'm going to stick with him. He's going to wait. Let's pause 5 seconds while he's doing that for stations along the line to identify themselves on this, the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
Channel 5, WLWT, Cincinnati.
We're at Riverfront Stadium. There you see the score. Reds leading 6-3. Scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, and 1 in the seventh. And Lefferts will face Ronnie Robinson, and 2 outs in the inning, and Ronnie swings right through it. Well, the good thing about it is we get the pitcher out of the way, and that's not what Boa really liked, although Franco usually comes in to close the door, and Ronnie, I guess the fans expect Ronnie to be a pretty good hitter, Joe, and he's not that good of a hitter, I think.
I think Robbie's looking for the hung ball, and Lefferts is doing one of them trick pitches. Like that one.
Yeah, there's one. So the Reds come up with 1 run. They got 2 hits. They left 2 on. And they extended their lead to 6-3. Marty Brennaman's coming in, and Joe Nuxall's going out. See you later, Joseph. Reds lead at 6-3 at the end of 7.
Guys, try the 24-hour protection of Old Spice Solid. They may give up their usual antiperspirant mid-stick.
Your dad? Only used twice. Very short strokes.
Fact is, none of these solid antiperspirants help stop wetness as well as Old Spice Solid. These deodorant sprays can't block odor better than Old Spice Stick. So switch now.
Sarge, for you. Hardly used.
Kind of like your comb.
Switch to 24-hour Old Spice, antiperspirant or deodorant.
Be sure and see your best quality Ford dealers today.
If you had all the experience of yesterday, with all the skill and innovation of today, you couldn't lose.
Reds lead at 6-3. Joe Nuxall has departed, and here you see the beaming face of a man who's very happy to come back with a 3-run lead.
I certainly am. It seems like every time I leave here and come back, the lead gets bigger. And it looks like the Reds are going to pick up a 4th straight win. You've got to like their chances, Johnny Robinson, and hopefully he can finish. But if not, you've got a guy by the name of Franco down there.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed about it, for it.
And we go to the top of the 8th inning where John Kruk awaits the true creature, Ron Robinson. Kruk, perfect night, 3 for 3. Boy, you guys do good work.
We really do. We work well together, Joe. I think it's probably just the old battery mates, you know, type of. Why would I say I didn't catch him? But it's that type of deal, you know, the pitcher and catcher calling signs. Joe called 3 or 4 different things, and they worked immediately.
You got one part right.
Which part?
Old foul ball, and it's 1-2 on Kruk.
You know, you've called.
I know it.
You've called the right fielder Godzilla. You've called the pitcher true creature, and now you're calling me old.
Well, I didn't.
Last time I looked, you were in the bantamweight division. You were talking to 3 heavyweights.
They have a special section in the hospital for bantamweights, too. I understand.
And you got Franco in the bullpen.
1-2 pitch. First time that John has been up tonight. They had Guy Hoffman throwing briefly in the last inning, and now it's John Franco. Ronnie Robinson would just as soon finish this game off and pick up the first save by a Reds reliever this season.
He loves to hack, doesn't he?
Boy, I'm telling you.
Do not get cheated up there, folks. Let me have a chance to play. And he's trying to prove to Larry Boa that he can play.
Well, if this doesn't get him back in the lineup tomorrow, although a left-hander's pitching, Tom Browning will go for Cincinnati in that 2:15 game tomorrow.
He will not play tomorrow, Marty.
Wouldn't think so. He's going to be retired this time, too. Larkin with that good arm, and Kruk's gone.
Larry told me before the game that Garvey was going to play 2 of the 3 games here, and he just chose to sit out tonight. Kruk, after a perfect evening, sees a fastball. Looked like he kind of turned it over a little bit, and he chopped at it. Larkin sort of let the ball get back a little bit on him, but was able just to flip it over there. If you call flip that hard.
That's Benito Santiago.
Milwaukee has extended their lead to 10-3 in the 4th, Marty. They are swinging the bats.
They got 8 runs in the first inning.
The 2 teams scored 10, and there's 23 runs by the Indians and Orioles up there, and 11 runs by the Tigers.
Would you say that, at least in the American League, that the hitters are a tad ahead of the pitchers?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Strike. 2-1.
Yes, and of course you always talk about spring training. There we see some National League scores that have been flipped up, and well, they haven't changed much since the last time we gave them.
Santiago waving at a pitch, and Robbie back even on him at 2-2.
Pitchers get ahead early in spring training, and then all of a sudden the hitters start catching up because the hitters are able to take so much BP anymore. They really force feed them with batting practice, and of course the first week or 2 you'll see a lot of runs.
Holding 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. Top of the 8th inning. The Reds in front 6-3. Gary Templeton, who so far has been shut out, will be next up.
It's not because he hasn't made contact.
You're right there.
Oh, that was the curveball that Kevin Mitchell took a while ago, only this time just a little bit higher. That's a pretty good breaking ball.
How close was it?
It's high. It just hung up there. He didn't quite get it to turn over. Bo, Bo, don't cheat like that.
That one might draw rain earlier than we anticipate getting it tonight. 2 down.
That's smooth. I love to watch Buddy. That glove of his. He is as smooth as anybody I've seen with a glove. Of course, Ray Knight had as good a hands as about anybody I've ever seen. He didn't have maybe the range that another third baseman has, but as far as just picking it, oh, he had some kind of hands. He used them in different ways.
That's a strike to Templeton. Gary has lined hard to first. He has lined hard to second, and he has bounced back to the mound. So Johnny Wright, he has hit the ball hard 2 out of the 3 times he's been up there.
Well, the first inning, it might have been a different ball game had it not been for a sparkling play by Francona.
The best defensive play we've had here tonight in light of what it meant.
Wright State University baseball team here, Marty.
Yep.
University of Xavier international students.
Strike 3 swinging. Second straight perfect inning for Ron Robinson. And we go to the home 8th inning. Reds 6, Padres 3.
If you just ask for a light beer.
For the Reds hitters, and ladies, don't let a little rain get in your way this summer. Use your fashionable Reds umbrella all season long. Get your free umbrella at the Reds Umbrella Day coming up this Sunday, April the 12th, thanks to Klosterman Bakery. The first 12,000 women in attendance, 18 and over, will receive a free red and white umbrella courtesy of Klosterman Bakery. It's the Reds against the Padres at 2:15, and Umbrella Day on Sunday, April the 12th. Those people came on Blanket Day last year.
Well, it's not that cold here, I'll tell you that.
No, and it's scheduled to be 60 and sunny on Sunday.
Here's Tom Gorman. He becomes the 4th pitcher and the 3rd straight left-hander following Drevecki and Lefferts, who succeeded the right-handed starter Storm Davis. Cal Daniels looking for his 3rd hit. He's had 2 doubles, a walk, 2 for 3 on the night with a run scored and a run batted in. Gorman was a non-roster player in spring training, as was second baseman Joey Cora. And he pitched well enough to make the ball club.
Talking about severe house cleaning.
This ball club?
This ball club.
Tell me about it. Wow. 10 new faces on this club when they started the season Monday in San Francisco. Short hop by Templeton, who bobbled it momentarily and still had time to throw Daniels out. Gorman has been around a bit. He was originally in the Montreal Expos organization. Last pitched in the major leagues with the New York Mets. He's facing Barry Larkin, who's looking for his third hit. 2 singles, an RBI, a run scored. He has stolen a base. Last up in the 6th inning was called out on strikes.
Darryl Strawberry hit his 3rd home run.
The early National League leader. And Mike Schmidt hit his 1st of the season tonight.
Yes, he did, as did Easler and Wilson and Laga and Bass and Sundberg. Morrison hit his 2nd. Parker hit his 2nd. And Darryl Strawberry is wearing Dwight Gooden's pants.
That's an interesting sidelight.
He wanted to wear them and to let Dwight know that he's thinking of him as his best friend, and he's worn them from day one.
Well, they've certainly been kind to him.
Did you hear about Mazzilli?
No.
He got picked up on the Parkway for changing lanes illegally without giving a signal.
Way to go, Lee.
And it made the New York papers, of course.
Well, they talk about playing in a fishbowl. If that isn't as good an example as any, I don't know what would be.
The big A, big aquarium.
Yes, that's very good. That's very good. Martinez after a bit of a run, and Larkin becomes the 2nd out. Parker started off like gangbusters tonight. He clubbed a 2-run homer in the 1st inning, has struck out, fly to deep center field, and struck out again. So 1 for 4 in this ball game, and 3 for 12 on the season with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. This game has served a very good purpose, and that is providing Dave Parker with a lot of at-bats against left-handed pitchers.
And they have pitched him well, Marty. They've busted the ball inside a lot, and the real off-speed breaking ball. And I know Dave did want to see some left-handers.
1-1. Talking about home runs in the National League, Rob Deere of the Milwaukee Brewers has hit his 3rd of the season tonight. Ray Knight, Pat Tabler, and Chet Lemon all pick up home run number 2.
And Lance McCullers, flamethrower, down in the bullpen warming up.
Parker checked his swing on that pitch in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
McCullers warming up just in case. Eric Davis, Buddy Bell, and Bo Diaz. He doesn't leave anything in the satchel.
2-2 with the Reds in front 6-3 in the 8th. And the pitch.
You know, you really, in a lot of ways, you pull for a guy that you've seen sort of bounce around the minor leagues and major league ball clubs. Like to see him coming back. They're looking for another chance to prove to themselves that they can still play in the organization. Case in point is the way Terry Francona, who really was kind of unsure of his status, and boy, he made the most of it. He got some lucky breaks. You know, I didn't mean that as a pun because of Nick Osaski, but he has made the most of it.
Gorman has gone as far as he can with Parker. His payoff pitch.
I think it's our microphone. Now that sounded like a broken bat. And Dave is standing there with it. So we have called some broken bat shots tonight that may not have been. Atlanta leads 4-3 in the 8th inning over the Mets. They came up with a run in the 8th. Well, that's not what it shows on our board over here.
Joey Cora throws him out, and Tom Gorman enjoys a perfect 8th inning. That's the first time since the 3rd that the Reds have been out in order. And San Diego has one more at-bat to do something about this 3-run deficit as we move to the 9th inning.
These days, Johnny Bench's bench is at the 9th.
Jim Hines, our center field cameraman, who is one of a tremendous and talented group of folks that we have the pleasure of working with when we TV our few games here at Riverfront Stadium.
Anchors away, oh boy.
And the judge is holding court out there in center as John Franco hopes to hold court here in the 9th inning and get it done.
Got his sailor's cap on. Let's sail right through this inning.
Strike is called on Joey Cora. Steve Garvey apparently is going to pinch hit for Tom Gorman. And Franco in a hurry. There's a future Hall of Famer.
Good morning, good afternoon, and
good night. $26,305. And another look at a good Friday night crowd.
It is Friday night, isn't it?
All night long.
Well, have a good weekend. Let's hope that it starts off and continues like this with the Reds leading going into the 9th inning.
We shall get together again when? Wednesday night in Atlanta.
You bet.
Garvey takes the strike, and Franco is yet to throw anything but bullseyes. Garvey 0 for 10 to begin the season.
Bo holding up both hands. John holding up both hands. You see a pretty good stat there.
He has had a great career. And he is out on strikes. And that is 6 pitches that Franco has thrown to retire the first 2 batters.
Ronnie Robinson really pitched well. And there's Franco coming in. And 2 perfect innings for Ronnie Robinson. And there's a real good screwball down and away. And you can see Garb, who's only hit 2 balls out of the infield so far. He's grounded in 2 double plays. And Franco in. He's not eligible for a save. And Ronnie Robinson, well, he really pitched well. You almost feel like he deserved a shot at getting a save. But I guess Pete wants to make sure that he has him all weekend long.
Odds down to their final out. And the batter, center fielder Stan Jefferson, who has had 3 hits and 4 at-bats.
I don't think Pete wanted to lose to Larry the first game, do you?
No, sir. Most definitely not.
Well, 1 out away from that being a reality.
That is 7 consecutive strikes.
He's got to have some dinner reservations.
This is one guy on the Reds pitching staff who I'm sure the Padres never want to face. He is 5-0 lifetime. Insignificant tonight because he can't pick up a victory, but he has been a dominating pitcher in his major league career against this particular club. Jefferson backs off, and over at third, Buddy Bell paying respect to Stan Jefferson's good speed by playing him shallow. A ball, 2 strikes, and the Pods are now down to their final strike. The Reds an out away from going 3-0. The Pods an out away from going 0-4. And the pitch. Eric Davis, and this one belongs to the Reds. The men of Pete Rose remain unbeaten. They rallied as they did Monday, as they did on Wednesday. They do it again tonight after trailing 2-0 after a half an inning. The fireworks exploding overhead courtesy of the dairy folks from Kroger and Texas Gold Premium Ice Cream. And the final score in the first of this 3-game weekend series, the Reds 6, the Padres 3. We'll be back.